The very first chapter that we have beta is material control. Alright guys, pages पलटाने की जरूरत नहीं है, सुनो ऑर्डर में क्वेश्चंस नहीं पूछूंगा. The name of the chapter guys is material. We will be learning about valuation of material and we'll be learning about inventory control. When you say inventory control, how are we supposed to exercise control over our materials? Exercising control over materials would not always mean that the intent is to ensure that there will be no thefts. It is also about ensuring guys that the correct quantity of raw material is available with us whenever we want it. If raw materials are not available, we will not be able to manufacture. That is why it is very important that we ensure that there is timely availability of raw material. At the same time, just because you want to ensure that raw materials are available as and when required guys, you do not purchase excessive stocks of raw material. If you buy excessive stocks of raw material, what is going to happen? Storage costs will increase. Not just storage costs, even the amount of capital that is blocked in the form of raw material will increase. पैसा लगेगा ना खरीदने के लिए. So you have to pay money upfront. You will need space to store those raw materials, guys. And in the process, imagine after you buy as such beta, there is a change in the market demand of the product, and you do not need that raw material anymore. Possible, or the prices of the raw materials decrease substantially. That the overall pricing of the product is reduced, but then you already paid a higher price for the raw material. There are a lot of reasons as such guys as to why it is important that we exercise control over raw material. It's like this, a couple of us have a habit guys of buying notebooks only when the notebook gets completed. Yes or no? And then we think Zepto करेंगे directly. क्लास में बैठे 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 यहाँ से ऑर्डर करते, बीच में अरे वॉशरूम बोल के बाहर जाते, बुक लेके अंदर आते वापस. Are we clear about this? There are other students as such guys who plan and they buy a notebook in advance only. They'll know that the notebook might get completed better tomorrow or day after tomorrow. जैसे तुम लोग पेन्स के साथ भी करते हो. थोड़े लोग बेटा पेन खत्म भी हो गया तो नहीं खरीदेंगे because they know there will be some idiot who plans who will get an extra pen as such बेटा. Correct? Yes. So organizations cannot do that as such guys. Raw material खत्म हो गया जरा बाजू वाले के फैक्ट्री से लेके आ बोल के. It doesn't work like that guys. Smaller organizations might still do it guys if they have a very good relation with the others as such बेटा दुकान में कस्टमर आता गोडाउन से लेके आता बोल के बोलता वो बाजू दुकान में जाके लेके आता from the competitor only as such guys. So it's possible for smaller organizations, it is not possible for larger organizations. Are we understanding this? That is why as such beta it is very very important that there is proper control exercised over material. Obviously because the chapter talks about material guys, they'll talk about the importance of you exercising control over material. I told you majority of the customers value a finished product on the basis of the material component. Most of the products that are manufactured, I'm not talking about services, I'm talking about products that are manufactured, material will be a significant component of the final cost of the product. If the overall cost of a product is 1,000 rupees, there's possibility that material itself might have costed you about 50 to 60% depending on which type of product. If it is something that is sold to a customer directly then the selling expenditure would be very high. If the product is not something that is sold directly to the customer, then the selling expenditure will not be significantly higher. It will be lower. And in that case, material component will also be very high. Because material is still a significant component as such guys of the end product. You have to ensure that you buy material at the right price and you buy material of the right quality. If you do not buy material of the right quality as such guys, will it impact the quality of the finished product? Most of the cases as such guys, the quality of the raw material itself will directly impact the quality of your finished product. You buy cheaper quality material as such guys, obviously the cost of the finished product will be lower, but then the quality of the finished product also would be significantly lower. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? There are companies that sell t-shirts for 50 rupees. There are companies that sell t-shirts as such guys for 100 rupees. There are companies that sell t-shirts for 500 rupees also. It all depends on the GSM of the material, fiber that they are using guys. जो सस्ते में बना रहा है obviously they will be using a lower quality material, guys. Are we all understanding this? So raw material is important because it will determine the quality of the finished product. It will determine the price at which the finished product will be sold. If the price of raw material is increasing, automatically the price of the finished product should also increase. If the companies are not able to increase the price of the finished product, different story. Sometimes it may happen that the competition is too high. If the competition is too high in the market as such, it is not always possible to increase the price of the product. The companies will have to cut down on their margins. Are we clear about it, guys? Jaise abhi, there was an article on dairy industry. The cost of milk procurement for all the dairy companies is increased, but they're not able to pass on that price increase as such to the end customer. Few states have took the lead and they've increased the milk prices. What happened with the neighboring Karnataka as such Nandini dairy as such, guys, the prices have increased, but here as such, guys, it did not increase yet. It is not always possible to increase the price. But ये समझ में आ रहा है दोनों point. Raw material will determine the quality of the finished product. Raw material will also determine. Is that clear, guys? After that, beta, production continuity. Did I talk about this? If raw materials are not available, guys, what will happen? You will not be able to manufacture the product. Every company, guys, will have to assess when will they be needing raw materials and accordingly place orders for the raw material. It is not that if you call the supplier and ask him to deliver, guys, he will run from his factory and start deliver the product to you. In a majority of the cases, after you place the order, beta, they will start manufacturing the product. Are we clear about this or not, beta? And in those cases also, beta, there can always be delays. Possible or not? So the printer who was supposed to deliver the books to us, beta, on the first day of the class only, uske paas equipments mein kuch issue aa gaya. Obviously, we cannot pressurize stating that we want it now only as such, beta. We know that the classes can be continued even without the materials for a couple of days. There's absolutely no need. So yahan pe, is there a delay cost? Undoubtedly, yes. So even if you place the orders at the right time, there is still a possibility that there can be a delay. Can organizations take that risk? Agar delay ho raha hai साथ beta, can the organizations take the risk? What will happen if there's a delay of raw material? They will not be able to manufacture. They will not be able to sell. That's it. और क्या होगा? Profits will go down as such beta. They will incur losses. ऐसे चलता रहा तो we might have to shut down everything. उससे ज़्यादा क्या होगा beta? So production continuity के लिए we will have to ensure that there is timely availability of raw material. How that timely availability of raw material will be determined? Tomorrow's class we will learn. There will be certain levels fixed. We will have to ensure that we will have to place order on a timely basis. जैसे घर में साथ बेटा we place orders for groceries every now and then. We do not do it on a daily basis. Usually better people do it monthly once. Yes or no? How much grocery is to be ordered? That will depend upon the quantity of the grocery that is lying with us. Correct? They will, based on those values as such beta, they will determine kitna karna hai. Organizations do not do it monthly once. They will take a call depending on the quantity that is left in the organizations. These days, all the processes are fully automated. The systems itself will remind us that an order has to be placed. We are running short of this material, or we have enough stock only for the next 1 week. You know that the supplier will take at least 3 days to deliver the material. So you will accordingly reverse calculate when should we be placing an order for that raw material. Cost of stock holding and stock out. Did we talk about this? Storage cost is stock holding cost, beta. Did we talk about this? When you say stock holding cost is such, beta, stock holding cost have two components. One is your finance cost. The other one is storage cost. What is finance cost? If you are buying quantities of raw material, there is capital required. If there is capital required, there is some amount of opportunity cost. Even if you're not borrowing money, you could have used that money better for something else. An electronic store has an inventory worth 1 crore rupees. Normal electronic store is not better. Bigger electronic stores might have inventories worth 6 to 8 crores in their store. So it is not just about the amount of expenditure that they're incurring on furniture. Are they not holding that inventory at any given point of time? Will that affect their overall profitability? Definitely yes. What will happen, guys, if they do not hold inventory worth 1 crore and they hold inventory worth only 1 lakh? Margins kya beta? They will not be able to sell only. Usko bolte stock out. See, if you maintain very high inventory, your carrying cost will increase as such, guys. Matlab, your finance cost will increase, your storage cost will increase. At the same time, if you maintain lesser amount of inventories, there will be more stock outs. A customer approaches a store as such beta, and the store says we do not have that inventory as of now, we will get it delivered to you in a day or so. Most likely beta the customer will visit some other store where the inventory is readily available. हाँ या ना? So lesser inventories will result in stock out. Are we clear about this? What is wastage and other losses? We are not talking about processing का wastage beta. That does not depend on the quantities of raw material that we are holding. Excessive inventories that you purchase as such guys, obviously there will be excess amount of storage losses. Lesser the amount of inventories that you purchase, lesser will be the storage loss. Higher inventories will require higher handling, and there is a higher possibility of damage as such beta that is run during handling of inventory. Let's say IKEA is known to have the best inventory management systems in place. The amount of inventory handling costs that they incur is significantly lower as such beta. The systems are well designed to anticipate demand, and based on that anticipated demand and the estimated shipping time, they know when which product is to be manufactured, which product is to be delivered. They also know that in case they buy or they purchase some component today, for how long will the stock last. कभी call करके देखो बेटा, for a product that is not available, they will tell you, sir, the product is expected to reach on 1st December. Based on the quantity that we are receiving, we are estimating that the stock will last only for 3 days. You will not have that item of inventory from 4th December. That is inventory management system in place. They have very less amount of handling costs that they incur because they believe frequent movements of inventory is an unnecessary wastage of time. इसलिए inventories are directly stocked in those racks as such beta that you see at the time of checkout. They say let the customers directly take out product from there and bill it. So that is inventory management system. Are we understanding this? Last wala beta, regular information about resources. You exercise proper control over inventory. You will know which type of inventory are you holding and what is the quantity of inventory that you are holding. समझ में आ रहा नहीं आ रहा है बेटा? It's like अपने household के things as such guys. We do not maintain records. That is why we have developed this concept of Diwali cleaning. The whole point of Diwali cleaning is to know what all things that you have as such beta, what all things do you actually need out of it, what all things are not required. You let go of things that are not required is something that we should learn from Diwali. Yes or no? You should know what should be the exact point of time in life when you should move on. So anyways beta, exercising proper inventory control will help us having that ready information about all the resources that an organization owns. Guys, things have drastically changed over the last couple of years. Remember, all the systems have been automated. Even a small store as such beta, departmental store, will have inventories systems being maintained as such beta in the computers. There will be digital records of everything. People do not maintain any physical registers as such beta. When physical registers are maintained, it is a little difficult as such guys. Even a CA firm as such beta will digitize everything. They will not have to continuously check कि कौन सा client आया कौन सा नहीं आया बेटा, due date के पहले कौन से returns pending है. The software only will tell us बेटा what are all the clients for which information is regularly filed, what are all the clients for which information is already done, what are all the pending clients. That is digitization, helping us better in our day-to-day operations. But ये समझ में आया सबको inventory control क्या है? Yes or no? Any doubt in this part? Now, we will be learning about material procurement procedure first. Then we will be moving on to valuation of materials. Then we will be moving on to inventory control. Now, talking about material procurement, I will make you write these points also later. Talking about better your material procurement procedure. There will be different departments that are involved in an organization. I told you about engineering department, correct? Engineering department या design department क्या करेगा? नाचेगा बेटा जब जब जरूरत पड़ेगी, ठीक है? हाँ. They're the ones who will design the department. They will design the product as such, guys. There will be purchase department. There will be stores department. हाँ, अभी जरा raw material तक ही रहेंगे. There will be production department, guys. इसके अलावा there will be an accounting department. The engineering department, guys, whenever they design a product, they prepare something called as, I'm talking about the material procurement procedure, so ध्यान देना, theory comes from it in the examination. They prepare something called as BOM, bill of material. A bill of material, guys, is not the invoice that you receive from the supplier. It is a detailed list of all the materials that you will be needing in order to manufacture a product. एक product बनाने के लिए क्या क्या material लगेगा is called as bill of material. This bill of material, whenever you try to Google about any product cost data as such, guys, they try to arrive at the product cost based on bill of material only. They say as per the recently available bill of material, this can be the expected material cost in order to manufacture a product. The advantage of bill of material, guys, is that whenever the production department is planning the production of any product, let's say they receive an order of 1000 units for a specific product, they will have to simply look at the bill of material and they will know what is the total quantity of each type of raw material that they will be needing. Yes or no? So bill of material, it's like the recipe that you have better for making any dish. Isn't that a detailed list of all the materials better that are required to manufacture or to make some product as such, guys? That is bill of material. कौन use करेगा बेटा इसको? Production department will use, purchase department will use, stores department will use. All of them better is going to use this integrated information for the purpose of planning their own resource requirements. If a company receives order for any product, stores department वाले को मालूम रहेगा guys कि कितना material लगने वाला है, what is the quantity of raw material that we have, or what is the quantity of raw material for which orders are to be placed. Are you understanding this, guys? Now, after this, guys, is everyone clear about bill of material? We have something called as a material requisition note or a store requisition note, MRN. Raw materials as and when they are purchased are stored in the stores department. Only as and when needed, they will be issued to the production department. There is no point in dumping all the raw materials directly to the production floor. There are few companies that follow just-in-time manufacturing system. I spoke about just-in-time when I was talking about cost reduction. These companies do not maintain stores. They buy raw materials in very small quantities only to the extent required. समझ में आ रहा है? And that raw material will be directly delivered to the production department. Production floor is the word that we use. So they do away with the concept of stores department only, guys. Traditional businesses do not do that. It is too difficult as such better to buy raw materials in smaller quantities. When you've developed that ecosystem around your organization, you can do that. Toyota has developed that ecosystem as such better. All of their suppliers have factories around the factory of Toyota only. So it is very easy for them to deliver raw materials in smaller quantities multiple times in a year. Normally, better any type of raw material Toyota buys 3 times in a day. 3 times in a day. Every 6, 7, 8 hours as such better, the raw material supplier will be delivering the raw material. They also manufacture in smaller lots. As and when they manufacture, they will be delivering it. कोई order place ही नहीं करता है उनके साथ. All their systems are integrated, guys. They will know what is the cars that are being manufactured for which what is the quantity of raw material is that they will need, guys. They'll automatically deliver that raw material to the company as and when it is required. So MRN is basically used by traditional businesses that have a separate stores department. MRN is a formal request that is made by production department to the stores department to issue raw materials. You cannot simply walk in as such better to the stores department and tell him, "Chahiye, leke ja raha hu bolke." Shouldn't there be documentation? Yes or no? If this documentation is not there as such better, kal ke din kisko puchoge who has taken the material or what quantities of material have been used for which product? At least when they maintain this documentation as such better, they will know what is the quantity of raw material used for a specific product. It is using this MRN that you will know what should be the material cost that should be allocated to different products. जब production department request करेगा, guys, that I need certain material, they will also have to specify for what purpose do they need that material. It's like this, when you join your articleship as such better, there will be stationery in the office. Bigger firms have stationery. अगर stationery लेना है साथ बेटा, आजकल थोड़े चीज़ें मतलब वो लोग ऐसे है कि take it, you do not need any formal request, but then they've seen that it is being exploited. ठीक है, and you say exploited as such, guys, it is not just our own family, everyone in the building, if they need any pencil also as such बेटा, they will come and tell you जरा ऑफिस से लेके आना बोल के. मतलब इतने गधे गाइस, पेपर बंडल भी पूरा बंडल उठा के आ जा रहे हैं. अरे मुफ्त में आ रहा ना बेटा. CA final students, guys, write in those books that they get in the offices. Those books might be 40 sides or 50 sides. They're supposed to take important notes from the client. तुम AFM जैसा सब्जेक्ट अगर उसमें लिखना शुरू करे, one fellow is in the 25th notebook now. मैं उसको बोला ये छोड़, बीच में अगर 2-3 नोटबुक घूम हो गई तो क्या करेगा? But so that is why they have systems in place better now. They say if you want anything as such, it should be signed by your senior manager. Only when the authorization comes from them as such better, the stores manager, whoever is the person as such guys who's handling all of those inventories, will be releasing those inventories. Similar concept, material requisition note. Production manager is making a formal request to whom? Stores department. Stores department क्या करेगा ऐसा बेटा? Will see for which product is the materials required and they will accordingly make an entry as such guys in their ledger and issue those materials. Is there a possibility as such better that the stores department might not have the materials? This is where as such guys they will issue something called as a purchase requisition note. What do you think will be a purchase requisition note? Stores department is making a formal request to whom? To make or place an order as such better for a specific raw material. इसके लिए there will be something called as reorder level. मतलब whenever the inventory levels come to a specific point, they should place an order as such better for the fresh quantities. So जब भी reorder level पे आएगा, what is exactly reorder level? How is it computed? Tomorrow's class guys, don't worry about it. कल से वो शुरू हो जाएगा practical. ये starting में हमेशा doubt आता कि ये practical subject बोला, ये सिर्फ बात करते जा रहा, बात करते जा रहा, बात करते जा रहा. क्या नुपुर doubt नहीं आता को आज? हाँ. So purchase requisition note is the stores department making a formal request with to place an. What will the purchase department do guys? It will skip a number. हाँ, sorry. It will place an order. उसको बोलते हैं purchase order, PO. Or if you do not have a supplier fixed for that as such better, there will be something called as RFP, request for proposal. मैं ready हूँ शादी करने के लिए. Proposals are accepted. So yes or no guys? It's like this guys. The families as such better introduce that kid as such guys in all the functions where they know कि इसकी शादी करानी है, जरा तू limelight में आ गया पागल तू बोल के. So that is like making a declaration as such guys to the entire society कि बच्चा बड़ा हो गया हमारा, हम रिश्ते देख रहे हैं. That is request for. Are you all relating to it? No. Very good better. If you already have someone in your head as such guys, then you directly skip to the step of purchase order. Otherwise, if the companies do not have a supplier as such guys, they will ask all the suppliers who are dealing in those materials to submit their proposals, quotations. Based on all the bids that you receive as such guys, you will zero in on a supplier and then you will order material and that will be called as your purchase order. That is why as such guys, whenever a B2B transaction, business to business transaction is involved as such बेटा, जो seller का invoice रहता है उसमें purchase order number भी रहता. It's easy for them to link all of those documents. When you are sending in a purchase order as such बेटा, that document will have a number. जब वो सामने वाला invoice तुमको भेजेगा, he will include this purchase order number. Are we clear about this? समझ में आ रहा है क्या बोल रहा हूँ? वरना Amazon business download करो बेटा, try to place an order, it will ask, do you have a PO number for this बोल के. So if you key in that PO number, the invoice will also have a reference to this PO number, so that it's easier for you to account it. Are we all clear about this? Once you place an order guys, what do you think will happen next? Deliver. Arre besharam. We're talking about the material only, no? Oh my god. Yes guys. Once you place an order as such beta, there will be something called as a lead period, lead time. Lead time is the time that will be taken by the supplier as such beta to deliver the material. Arre besharmo ban karo be. To deliver the material guys after the order is placed. The material will be delivered. When the material is delivered as such guys, at the factory gate, we prepare something called as goods received note, GRN. Okay? This is prepared at the factory gate. This goods received note acts as a documentary evidence that we have received inventory. Even when guys an order is delivered by a courier company as such but a prepaid orders, they will ask us to sign. If it is a COD order as such, but the fact that they've received the money itself is the proof that the order has been delivered. Otherwise, they will either ask us to sign it or these days OTP, सबसे best. Okay, because it comes to the number of the person who's placed an order only. That is a documentary evidence as such, that the order has been delivered. Even here as such, you will have to create this document called as goods received note. This goods received note, guys, will be prepared in multiple copies. It is not that a single copy is prepared. एक तो factory gate पे ही they will retain one. They will send one to the purchase department stating that whatever order that you have placed, we have received that inventory. They will send one to the stores department to tell them that whenever they're making an accounting as such, it will be against this goods received note, and one will be sent to the accounts department. कुछ भी internal transactions रहने दो बेटा, all of those copies will have to go to the accounts department. They are the ones ultimately who will be preparing all your cost records. Are we all clear about this? Now, after goods received note as such, the supplier will submit his invoices. किसको submit करेगा? Directly to the accounts department, and the bills will be cleared. Different story. But the main documents that are involved in material procurement are these. इसके अलावा there will also be a debit note and a credit note. We'll talk about that in some time. पहले ये समझ में आया? Materials are not of a good quality as such, guys, or there's something wrong with the materials. You will have to return the materials to the supplier. Material return note. समझ में आ रहा है? वो material return note as such, बेटा, we'll talk about debit note and credit note. You had this concept earlier also, but अभी के लिए ये समझ में आया पूरे processes. What is the bill of material, guys? तेरा नाम क्या है बेटा? सृष्टि की फ्रेंड. हाँ, नॉट फ्रेंड. हाँ, ऐसे नहीं बोलते बेटा. ऐसे शक्ल से भूतनी लगती है बेटा. उसका मतलब ये थोड़ी है कि तो उसको बोले कि नहीं ये भूतनी मेरी दोस्त नहीं है बोल के. यस बेटा हर्षिता, व्हाट इज द बिल ऑफ मटेरियल? All the materials that are required to manufacture a particular product as such, but a detailed list of that will be called as bill of material. Next, what is the goods received note? Goods which are received in a note will be called as, no, when we issue notes and goods are received, एक वाला बोल पे मैं कुछ तो टाइम पास कर रहा हूं मैं. ठीक है, ऑर्डर में जाऊं. व्हाट्स द परचेज एक्विजिशन नोट? भूल गई. अभी क्या बेटा 5 फ्रेंड हुए हैं. वेंकट अभिषेक. Purchase acquisition note is a formal request made by the stores department to the purchase department to place order for raw materials. What is store acquisition note? Store acquisition note or material acquisition note is same, guys. Sorry, I didn't tell you. Whether it is store acquisition note or a material acquisition note, it is the same thing. Who's making this formal request? Production department. Requesting whom? Requesting the stores department as such to issue raw materials. As and when the materials are required, stores department will ask the purchase department to place an order. Purchase department, if they already have a supplier, you know, guys, listed for that specific type of raw material, usually, guys, you will have fixed suppliers. You will not be finding new suppliers every time you need raw material. It is only first time as such, whenever you need a new type of material, that you will have to zero in on a supplier as such, guys. Otherwise, the suppliers are fixed. And ऐसे एक दो supplier नहीं रहते, guys. जैसे Tata Motors earlier had about 1200 suppliers. Under the optimization policy, they brought it down to 600. And they're working now to bring it down to 400. They think that lesser the number of suppliers, easier it is to manage. But imagine a company having 1200 suppliers as such, guys, for different types of components. So you will have a supplier as such listed for a product, and if the supplier is ready, you will directly place a purchase order. Otherwise, you will ask them to submit their proposals. When you ask them to submit their proposals, you issue a document which is called as RFP, request for proposals. Once the goods are delivered by the supplier as such, at our factory gate, we'll be preparing something called as a goods received note, prepared in multiple copies for documentation. As and when the supplier will submit their invoices, guys, we will remit the amount. And if the materials as such, guys, do not fit the requirement, then we will have to return the material. Once the materials are returned as such, there will be material return note that is prepared. Are we all clear about this? Yes or no, guys? There can also be returns made by production department to the stores department, for which we prepare something called as a shop credit note or a store debit note. but we will talk about this under issue of materials. Right now we are only dealing with procurement of material. Any doubt in this part? Alright guys, let's take a break. I'll be starting with FM after the break. Online students, end of the session. See you guys later. Bye bye. Alright guys, we did the material procurement procedure the other day. I said there'll be different departments involved. The first the first document beta was bill of material. Netra sunna hai to class mein baith beta bana, you can leave now. The first document guys was bill of material, which is a detailed list of all the materials that are required to manufacture a product. After bill of material guys, we spoke about material or store acquisition note, which is a formal request made by the purchase department to the stores department for issue of materials guys, and production department better to the stores department, and then purchase acquisition note, formal request being made by stores to the purchase department guys for purchase of materials. Then there will be request for proposal guys, wherein you will be rolling out a document guys asking all the suppliers to submit their quotations. After that comes purchase order, then comes goods receive note when the materials are actually delivered, and if the materials are not based on the specifications guys, the materials will be returned. This is where you'll prepare a material return note. Are we clear about this guys? Now write this heading beta, valuation of material receipts. Valuation of material receipts. पार्थ मटेरियल इधर बस बैग में देना. वैल्यूएशन ऑफ मटेरियल. क्या कर रहा है यार तू? थैंक यू बेटा, गलती मेरी है, बोल सकता है, इट्स ओके. यस गाइस, जरूरत नहीं है, मैं बोला था जब आएगा तब लिखाऊंगा बोल के, थोड़ा ध्यान दो पढ़ाई पे. Alright guys, when you talk about valuation of material receipts, whether it is this chapter or any other chapter that deals with purchase of an asset, the underlying principle remains the same. Any expenditure that you are incurring in order to bring the inventory to the present location and condition so that it is capable of being used for its intended purpose. If it is capable of being used for that asset, whatever expenditure that you are incurring should be included in the cost of inventories. It is not an expenditure that is being incurred to bring the material to the present location and condition better. It should not be included in the valuation of material. Are we clear? The logic is simple. If it is required to incur the expenditure, include it. Otherwise, you should not include it. Just say, for example, should you incur transportation costs to bring the material to the factory premises? Is it required for you to use the raw materials in the factory premises? Yes. Are you supposed to include it in the cost of materials? Karman, padhai pe dhyan de beta. Are you supposed to include it in the cost of materials? The answer would be yes. After you bring the materials to the factory premises, guys, you're storing the raw materials. Let's say you store it for 1 month and you incur certain expenditure. That storage cost that you incur, is it required for you to use the material? You purchase the material, you're storing it as better for a month, you're incurring some storage cost. Is that storage cost required to use the material? Can you use the material even without storing it for a month? That storage cost cannot be included in the cost of materials. It is not an expenditure which is required to bring the inventory to the present location and condition. Are you getting the point? The logic is very simple. If the expenditure is related, include it. Otherwise, do not include it. The burden of expenditure should always be on the organization. If the burden of expenditure is not on the organization as such better, then it is not even your cost element. You cannot talk about including it. Just say there will be certain taxes as such, guys, of which you will be getting credit on a later date. You pay tax at the time of procurement as such, guys, the ones who are done with GST as such beta, input tax. You pay taxes at the time of procurement as such beta, but then whatever tax that you're paying at the time of procurement, you will be getting a credit of that beta on a later date. If that is happening, guys, again, you do not have to include that in your cost because it is not your expenditure. You're buying material for 100 rupees. On that, let's say you pay a GST component of 18 rupees. What will be the total amount, guys? 118. Yes or no? Let's say that you sell this product Asad beta at a price of 250 rupees. At the time of sales, you collect a GST of about 45 rupees. The total amount that you collect from the customer beta is 295. ये जो GST तुम जो पे कर रहे हो बेटा at the time of procurement, which is 18 rupees, you are collecting 45 rupees GST from your customer. हाँ या ना? You do not have to remit 45 rupees to the government. You can tell the government Asad beta that you already paid 18 rupees at the time of buying your input. So you will now remit the balance, which implies though you are paying 18 rupees at the time of procurement of raw material, guys, you are adjusting it against the amount that you are collecting from the customer. That means you are being reimbursed this amount on a later date. You're collecting 45 from the customer, but you're not transmitting that 45 to the government. You're transmitting only 27 rupees. So if the burden of the expenditure is not on the organization, it can never be included in the cost of the materials. Only if the burden of the expenditure is on the organization, you're supposed to include it. What if you are buying some material as such, guys, let's say in Dubai, and you paid a tax of 5 rupees there. The total amount is 105. Here, guys, you sell the product at 250 to your customer in India. You collect 45. The total amount is 295. Now, you cannot go and tell the Indian government, remember I paid 5 rupees to the government of Dubai. Well, can you please adjust it? I'll pay the balance 40 rupees. Well, can you do that? So this amount is now non-refundable. You will not get a credit of this on a later date. Because the amount beta cannot be availed, you will not be able to get a reimbursement of that on a later date. This will now be included in your cost. You will say that the cost of material for you is 105 rupees and not 100 rupees. Previous example mein, what will be the cost of your material? 100 rupees and not 118 rupees. Looking for someone, Raghav? समझ में आ रहा नहीं आ रहा guys? Are we all clear about this? The basic rule is very clear. Any expenditure that is directly attributable to bringing the material to the present location and condition. Then there is something called as trade discount. Most of you have already done all of this, guys, at CA foundation level, but then it's my job to explain it again because it is covered in CA Inter also. There's something called as trade discount or quantity discount, guys, and cash discount. Trade discount arises on account of your procurement activity. Cash discount is a discount that you will receive on account of early repayment. You've been given a credit period of a certain number of days. You are not availing the entire credit. You are making the payment upfront. Because you are making the payment upfront as such beta, there is certain amount of discounts that are being given to you. If you repay the amount before the due date, wouldn't there be some amount of discount? Let's say beta that you're buying 100 units of a product at an amount of 10,000 rupees. Because you're buying 100 units, they're giving you a discount of 2%, which is 200 rupees. The net amount that is supposed to be paid beta is 9,800. This amount as such, guys, is, let's say, payable in 3 months time. But you chose to pay the amount immediately as such, guys. So if paid, let's say beta in 5 days, you will have to pay only 9,600 rupees. 500 karte beta, 200 tumhako lagta same hai kya? Let's say, guys, if you pay in 5 days, you are supposed to pay only 9,500. Now, when you are accounting for this purchases as such, guys, you know that the basic purchase price is how much? You cannot record purchases at 10,000 and record a discount income of 500. That 200 rupees, guys, is on account of purchases. It should be adjusted from the purchase price. You cannot unnecessarily inflate your P&L statement. See, guys, anything that you write on the credit side is included in the revenue of the organization, total income. We cannot keep inflating our total income beta. Aise socho, you buy a material beta for 1 rupee. You're like, I'm not happy about the fact that we bought the material only at 1 rupee. So on the purchases side beta, you are writing, let's say, 1 crore rupees. And then as such beta, you're writing, I got a discount of 99 lakhs, 99,999 rupees. Will it be appropriate? We cannot argue that the profit is still going to remain same. So mein aa raha hai, nahi aa raha guys. That is why I said beta, if the discount is on account of procurement activity, you're supposed to record that at what? 9,000. You reduce it from the amount of purchases. Cash discount cannot be adjusted. Cash discount has nothing to do with your procurement activity. Cash discount, guys, is a financial transaction. Because it is a financial transaction, it will be directly transferred to P&L account as discount income. Are you getting the difference between trade discount and cash discount? Trade या quantity discount अगर है, it will be adjusted from purchase price. If it is cash discount as such beta, it will be credited to P&L account. Any doubt in this part? Yes or no guys? कौन है बेटा no बोल के चला रहा है? Are we all clear about this guys? Tat on beta side. Valuation of material receipts. Now there are a lot of items that they've given guys. They can randomly give anything in the examination. The first category is discounts and subsidy. You do not have to open the materials, just concentrate. Trade discount and quantity discount. Did I just explain? Whether it is trade discount or whether it is quantity discount, what are you supposed to do? Adjust it from the amount of purchases and write only the net price. Alright guys, let's say you're buying as such guys, some firecrackers as such, the MRP listed on the box is 10,000 rupees and you buy it for 1,000 rupees. What is the cost of your purchase? You will not record 10,000 and then write discount received 9,000 rupees. Are we understanding the point? If it is cash discount as such, it is of a financial nature. It should not be adjusted from the cost of purchases. Instead, it will be credited to P&L account, transferred to P&L account. Any amount of subsidy that you receive, incentive that you receive as such guys against procurement of material is an inflow directly related to procurement and hence should be reduced from the cost of procurement. Let's say that you are buying a component as such at 100 rupees, but the government wants to subsidize that sector. Government says if you're using this component for the purpose of manufacturing a product which will be exported, we will reimburse 20% of the cost. So though you're paying 100 rupees now, you know that you're going to receive a subsidy of 20 rupees. So your net procurement cost will only be 80 rupees. So you are going to record your purchases at only 80 and not at 100. The timing of cash flow can differ. There can be a time lag of 1 year also guys by the time you receive the amount of subsidy. But you're paying 100 rupees today, you're going to receive a subsidy of 20. That subsidy should be reduced from the cost of procurement. So trade discount, quantity discount guys, any amount of subsidies, better incentives. So should be reduced as such guys from the cost of procurement. If there's cash discount as such better, it will be transferred to P&L account, credited to P&L account. And then duties and taxes, the rule is very simple guys. As long as there is a credit of the duty that is available, you will not include the amount of taxes in the cost of your procurement. Agar credit nahi mil raha hai, you will not be able to avail credit. Only then it will be added to the cost of your procurement. Hereafter, remember, by default, if they use the word GST, unless otherwise given, credit can be availed for a business dealer. Are we clear? If you can avail credit, that means better it is not your cost. You're not supposed to include it. Whether they use the word CGST, SGST, IGST does not make any difference. Unless otherwise given, credit can be availed. And if you can avail credit as such, better you're supposed to exclude it. You should not include it in the cost of your procurement. In case they use the word import duty, it would mean guys that credit cannot be availed. If they use the word GST, by default the assumption is credit can be availed. If they use the word import duty, by default the assumption is, and if you cannot avail credit, it means it is your expenditure. If it is your expenditure, you should include it in the cost. Road tax, toll tax, as such, if they give anything of this sort, it is supposed to be included. You are not going to get any credit of those taxes paid as such, so it will be added to the cost of your procurement. Are we clear about this? So customs duty is added, baki sab as such guys will not be added, should not form part and all of that. Are we clear? Road tax as such guys is included with the cost of purchase. Any doubt in this? The next set of things is in respect of penalties or abnormal expenses. If there's any amount of penalty that we are paying as such, guys, will that be normal item or abnormal item? What did we learn related to abnormal items? They should never be included in the cost of remaining units. They're always transferred to P&L account. So if there's any amount of penalty that we are paying as such, guys, any amount of fine that we are paying, it should not be included in the cost of procurement. It should be transferred to P&L account as a separate line item. See, the problem beta is anything that affects inventory valuation will affect profits. Anything that can be added to the cost of materials, indirectly beta, you can postpone that expenditure to next year if the inventory is not yet sold. That is why there will be a lot of entities as such, guys, which will want to include more and more items as such beta in their cost of inventories as such, guys. That is why there are very strict regulations as such beta when it comes to inventory valuation. Even in your internship, you will see as such, guys, that you will not be given the task of verifying COGS or revenue as such beta in the very first year. They will have to build that trust whether you are able to handle the work or not, if it's a bigger client. So they will only give you OPEX, operating expenses as such beta, other categories. You're performing well, then they will give you the category of COGS and revenue, because you cannot mess up with those items as such beta. That directly has a significant impact on the profitability of the organization. Are we getting the point, guys? Something that is not supposed to be included in the cost of materials, if you include it as such, guys, a part of it will also get carried forward to the next year in the form of closing stock. Thereby you're inflating the profitability of the current year, which is not appropriate. Are we clear about this? Remember the rule, guys. If I cannot see your face, that means you're not listening and you'll be out of the class. Are we clear about this as such beta? Any doubt in this part? So any amount of penalty as such, guys, does not matter what is the nature of it. You are not supposed to include it in the cost of procurement. Detention charges, penalty, normal as such beta. There's a word uses, demurrage. This is the penalty that is payable as such, guys, at the port for delay in loading or unloading of goods. Inventory is lying there, you are not picking up the inventory. Unka bhi place occupy ho raha hai. They will levy penalty. Or you were supposed to load the product as such, guys, let's say by 30th of September, you do it, guys, 3rd of October. You're delaying their entire process. Even then they will levy penalty. What are you supposed to do with that? Transfer it to P&L account. Are we clear about this? It is still in the nature of an abnormal item beta. If it's an abnormal item, it has to be transferred to P&L account. Are we clear about this? Next, guys, insurance charges. Now, you will come across the word insurance at multiple places. ये chapter में the word insurance would by default mean transit insurance. In the subsequent chapters, insurance would mean storage insurance. There's a difference between insurance of inventories that are lying in stock and transit insurance. Transit insurance as such, guys, is to ensure that in case the inventory gets damaged as such beta during the transportation of inventory as such beta from your supplier's place to our factory, then we will be getting a claim as such, guys, from the insurance company. Storage insurance kya hai? At any given point of time, guys, we will be holding inventories. If you're holding inventories, you might also want to take an insurance against those inventories. Just in case there is a calamity as such beta, then you will be able to file a claim with the insurance company. Storage insurance has nothing to do with you being able to use the inventory. So that is why storage insurance cannot be included in the cost of materials. But ye chapter mein, the word insurance would mean they are going to give this information along with the procurement of material, guys. They'll tell you that we purchased material for so and so price and we paid insurance. By default, they are not referring to storage insurance. They're referring to transit insurance. And if it is transit insurance, it will get added, guys, to the cost of materials. Storage insurance, cost sheet mein aayega. They'll tell us insurance for inventories. There it is, normal storage insurance. We are not going to add that to the cost of materials. We will include that as an overhead, factory overhead. Agar wahi beta, if it is insurance on finished goods, it will become a distribution expenditure. Once a product is manufactured, anything that you're incurring after that as such beta is not your manufacturing cost. The expenditure that you're incurring on your finished product thereafter, guys, will become the expenditure to deliver the product to the customer. Distribution expenditure. So, abhi ke liye insurance ke sath kya karoge beta? Concentrate, guys. ठीक है? There are few things better your family people will take care of. You do not have to worry about it. One such thing is so insurance as such guys will be added. Commission or brokerage paid. What is commission or brokerage? Ray, you have a doubt? Ask now. Once more you talk when I'm discussing something as such, but I'll change your place. ठीक है? कल किसके बाजू बैठो बोला था तो कल आके क्लास के बाद में बोला था ना मैं बात करूंगा सर मेरे को उठा के इसके बाजू बैठाओ बोल के. कौन थी वो लड़की? तो कल आके बोला ना क्लास के बाद में सर प्लीज सर मैं बात करूंगा मेरे को उठा के उसके बाजू बैठाओ बोल के. मनन लड़के के बारे में बोलेगा. यस गाइस. Anyways, beta, if there's any amount of commission or brokerage that you are paying, what are you supposed to do with it? Add it. When you say commissions as such, beta, usually when you're buying raw materials from another country as such, you will be executing the transaction through a broker who is helping you connect with the manufacturer or the supplier of that component. He will be charging a certain amount of commission on the overall invoice value. It's an expenditure directly attributable to acquisition, and that is why it will be added to the cost. What will you do with freight inwards? Obviously guys, transportation cost, it is directly attributable to procurement of material and hence it should be added to the cost of the materials. What will you do with cost of containers? Jara soch ke bolna. Add. Hasan, what add beta? Cost of containers. What should I do? Import kar rahe apan. Why do you think beta only when you import something there will be proper containers used? Let's say बेटा that you go out to a dairy ऐसा जो buying curd, क्या करता है ऐसे हाथ लेके जाके देता है कि जरा दो डेयरी दो कर्ड लेके जा रहा हूँ. The explanation and the final conclusion as such beta, both of them are contradicting each other. So you're telling me that it is required for storing the material and then you're telling me that it is to be added. Alright guys, when you say containers as such beta, we're talking about distribution expenditure, not for us, for the supplier. The supplier is using additional packaging for shipping product from one place to another place as such beta. If the cost of containers is included in the procurement price and the containers are non-returnable, you will have to discard the containers, you cannot do anything with it, then the cost of containers should be added to the cost of materials. But if the containers are returnable, then it should not be added. When I say containers are returnable as such guys, initially let's say you're paying 1 lakh rupees, that includes the cost of containers also. But when you return the containers, they're giving back 10,000 rupees to you. So you know though you paid 1 lakh rupees now, you're going to get a refund of 10,000 rupees on a later date. So your net cost will only be 90,000. So whether it should be added or not will depend on who's bearing the expenditure. So if the containers are non-returnable, what will you do with it? Add it. If the containers are returnable, then do not add it. So what if they are non-returnable containers but they still have some scrap value? Let's say that I paid 20,000 rupees for the non-returnable containers, but by discarding those containers, I'm getting an amount of 2,000 rupees. My net cost will only be 18,000. Only that should be included in the cost of materials. Yes or no, guys? समझ में आ गया बेटा? Orange t-shirt. Are we clear about this? What's your name? We're going to revise better once I'm done with. The next one guys is shortage of materials. Nothing new. As long as there is a normal shortage, it will be adjusted to the जहाँ पे भी loss आ रहा है, shortage आ रहा है guys, go back to the basic concept of normal loss and abnormal loss. If it is something which is normal in nature, it will automatically get adjusted to the cost of remaining good units. And if it is abnormal as such beta, it will be transferred to P&L account. Are we clear about this? Kev, what are we supposed to do? If it is normal shortage, it will be adjusted to the cost of the remaining good units. If it is abnormal beta, it will be transferred to P&L. 27th one. An invoice in respect of a consignment of chemicals A and B provides the following information. Chemical A 10,000 kgs at the rate of 10 rupees per kg. The amount is 1 lakh. chemical B, KEF 27th question. Chemical B 8,000 kgs at a price of 13 rupees per kg, 1,04,000. Next, basics customs duty is at the rate of 10%. Credit is not allowed. They do not have to mention the fact that credit is not allowed, guys. By default, I told you if they use the word customs duty, credit will not be allowed. And if credit is not allowed, what are you supposed to do with that? Add it to the cost of purchases. Railway freight, guys, what will you do with transportation cost? Add it to the cost. A shortage of 500 chemicals, 500 kgs in chemical A and 320 kgs in chemical B is noticed due to normal breakages. It is normal, guys. Yes or no? Any normal loss will automatically be adjusted to the cost of the remaining good units. You are required to compute the rate per kg of each chemical, assuming a provision of 2% for further deterioration. What will that 2% be, guys? The fact that we are estimating the loss, guys, it would mean that it is normal. Abnormal losses are not estimated. ये है ही बच्चे ऐसे दिन में पढ़ेंगे से 5 घंटे बोल के, नो समझ में आ रहा है? So this 2%, guys, is and deterioration बोल रहा है, guys. Obviously that would be normal loss. It is owing to the nature of raw material. In fact, when the question came in 1990s का question था बेटा पहले, they did not even use the word normal breakages. They just said breakages. ना भाई, this word normal was not used, guys, before. We have to understand that they've used the word deterioration, which means it is normal. And then they added the word further. That means the initial loss was also deterioration, normal in nature. But abhi beta, they're not creating any such confusion. They're like, ये कहाँ AI के बच्चों में बच्चे इतना दिमाग लगाएंगे? Let's add the word normal breakages. So you know for sure, guys, that both the losses are normal. I'll wait for a minute. Rough में calculate करके tell me what is the cost per kg beta, and then we'll present it. And if you're already done with it, do not shout. Just wait for a minute. Let everyone think about it. Okay, guys, pay attention first. All of you stop writing for a minute. We have two chemicals, guys, chemical A and chemical B. Guys, the basic purchases, guys, of chemical A are 10,000 kgs multiplied by 10 rupees. And that is 1 lakh. There's no doubt about it, beta, that everyone would have got this right. Yes or no? Question says, guys, customs duty is at the rate of 10%. Even if they do not give at 10%, remember duty is always on value of a product, not on quantity of a product. So if you go to a store as such, guys, and let's say ice cream as such, he's not levying GST as a percentage of the quantity that you are buying, guys. It is always as a percentage of the value of the product. So customs duty, guys, will be in the ratio of purchases, or you can directly take that 10%. 20,400 जो है बेटा, you will get 10% of 1 lakh and 10% of 1,04,000. You should add 10,000 to the first material. You should add 10,400 to the second material. Why are we adding customs duty? Because it is non-refundable. Hi, na? Had it been GST, will you add? No. Then comes railway freight. Isn't this a transportation cost? Any amount of transportation cost as such, guys, what will you do? Add. Transportation cost as such, guys, will be apportioned in what ratio? This will be apportioned in the ratio of quantity, guys. So that 3,840 will be apportioned in the ratio of 10,000 kgs is to 10,400 kgs. समझ में आ रहा है? Sorry. Yes, beta. 8,000 kgs. That will be in the ratio of 5:4 divided by 9. कितना amount? 2133, guys. So the leftover amount beta will be 1707. The total as such beta cost of your raw materials will become 1,12,133 and 1,04,000 and 10,000, 1,14,000, 1,15,000, 16,107. This will be the total cost. Had there been no normal losses, you would have directly divided this by 10,000 kgs and 8,000 kgs, and that itself would have been your cost per kg. But because there is a normal loss as such, guys, you're supposed to adjust that normal loss from the quantity better, and then the leftover quantity should be considered. अपना quantity purchased कितना था? 10,000 kgs, guys, and 8,000. From this beta, there is a normal shortage in transit. The normal shortage in transit, guys, is 500, and that means you have received only 9,500 and 7,680. On this beta, there is a further normal loss beta, 2% provision during storage. Deterioration बोल रहा है. This 2% will be as a percentage of 9,500 and 7,680 का 2% beta, 153.6. The leftover quantity will be 9,310, guys, and this will be 7,526.4. This will be the quantity. To get cost per kg now, you will simply write 1,12,133 divided by the good units, 9310, and 1,16,107 divided by 7526.4, 12.044 per kg. दूसरा वाला 427 per kg, 3 decimal points. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा guys? What if beta that 2% was abnormal loss? अगर वो 2% abnormal loss होता, then you will directly divide 1,12,000 by 9,500. That will give us the cost per kg. Then proportionate cost for 190 kgs will be transferred to P&L account, because that is abnormal loss. Are you all getting the point, guys, here? Yes or no? Next question, the 28th one. All of you read the question and arrive at the cost per unit. I'll wait for 2 minutes. Question number 28. Do not talk, guys. Pay attention. The question says, guys, that the company who is buying material is not registered with GST. That means we will not be able to claim input tax credit. If you are not able to claim credit, GST should be added to the cost of procurement. Yes or no? Sun lena pehle. So the list price of the material, guys, is 50,000. On this list price of 50,000, we are going to get a trade discount. Should trade discount be adjusted from the price? Yes, trade discount should be adjusted. That 10% will be adjusted from 5,000 beta. The leftover amount would be 45,000. This will now become our net purchase price. On this net purchase price, there is a GST levied which we are going to pay at the time of purchase. Because there is no credit available beta, it should be added to the cost. 45,000 by 12% beta will be 5,400. The next item that is given there beta is freight and insurance. Is freight and insurance an expenditure directly related to this thing, acquisition? What will you do with it? Add it to the cost of acquisition. Any doubt so far, guys? Toll tax, is it an expenditure directly attributable? Will credit be available beta of toll tax? No. Demurrage, guys, what will you do? I will write it is in the nature of penalty. Because it is in the nature of penalty, abnormal item, you should not add. You will write 0. Are we clear about this, guys? After demurrage as such, guys, the next item that we have here is commission and brokerage. What should you do beta with commission and brokerage? add. These are expenses directly attributable to acquisition as such, beta. That is why it should be added. How much is the amount of commission and brokerage? 2000, guys. And then comes containers, beta. Though the containers are returnable, the question says that the amount that we are paying for containers is 6000, but we are getting only 4000 refund. That means 2000 rupees will still be your expenditure. Hi, Anna, guys. Did you all get the same values till this point? How much is the sum total, guys? 4, 5, 8400, 11850, 58,800. This is your total cost, excluding what, guys? The other expenses. Hi, Anna. To this, if I add other expenses, which is 2% of total cost, I will get total cost. So if total cost is 100 rupees, other expenses will be 2. Cost excluding other expenses will be 98 rupees. The answer is 75 and not 74.97. Other expenses is 58,800 into 2 divided by 98 and not into 2%. Let's read that statement again. Other expenses are 2% of. Shouldn't your total cost include other expenses also? ये statement समझो, guys. 2% is not as a percentage of 58,800. 2% is as a percentage of total cost. And that 58,800 is not your total cost. It is total cost excluding other expenses. So if total cost is 100 rupees, other expenses will be 2 rupees. And your total cost excluding other expenses will become 98. वो arrow से समझ में आया क्या लिखा मैं वहाँ पे? So this here beta will become, and this will become 60,000. You can check 60,000 का 2% beta will be 1200. Are you getting? The only important point in this question is that last 2% वाला point, guys. बाकी पूरा normal है. Are we clear about this? The same question was converted into an MCQ question also. Are we all clear about this? Now, guys, how many units did we purchase? Number of units purchased are 1000. On that 1000 units purchased, guys, what is the normal shortage? Normal shortage is 20%. What do you do with that normal shortage? Subtract it. The net units beta will only be 800. What will be the cost per unit? Cost per unit will be 60,000 divided by 800 units, 75 rupees per unit. समझ में आया क्या बोल रहा हूँ मैं? Yes or no? So whoever is getting 74.97, only that other expenses part is wrong, beta. बाकी पूरा correct है. Right, the next heading, guys. Inventory control. Inventory control. Whatever we are doing next, beta, is a significant component of the overall chapter. मतलब ये अगर हो गया, will be done with the majority of the chapter. There are 4 ways of exercising control over inventory, guys, as in we have 4 broad heads. The first one is by setting quantitative levels. There is something called as by ratio analysis, relative classification, using ratios, and then there is physical control. The very first, when you say inventory control, I hope everyone knows the meaning of the word inventory control. How are we ensuring that we exercise control over inventories? By the right, type of raw material at the right price, ensure that materials are available, ensure that there is no production stoppages. That is all is inventory control. The first one that we have as Beta is by setting quantitative levels. There will be certain limits, quantitative limits set. Based on that, automatic exercise over the control, automatic inventory control beta can be exercised. Up to understand these quantity levels, first you will have to understand that there is something called as lead time, also known as reorder period. सब लिखाऊंगा, सुन लेना पहले. This is the time taken by the supplier to deliver the material after the order is placed. Lead time as such beta can be as low as a day also. Lead times can be 10 days. Lead times can be months also. After you place an order with the supplier, how long will the supplier take to deliver the material is called as lead time. Majority of the cases, your supplier undertake manufacturing after receiving the order. So they manufacture the entire product and then they deliver it to you. There will be time. If it is something that they're regularly trading in as such beta, lead times can be as low as a half an hour also. It's like this, Blinkit पे order करो आ जाएगा 10 मिनट में बोल के. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? So under lead time guys, we will have something called as minimum lead time. This is based on our past experience. Then there is average or normal lead time. And then there is maximum lead time. On an average, in how many days did the supplier deliver the material in the past will determine our average lead time. Let's just assume better that this is 10 days. The supplier normally takes about 10 days to deliver the material. Once you place the order, on the 11th working day, material will be in your premises. There were times as such better when the supplier has delivered the material, let's say in 5 days also. And let's say that he has taken, मैं purposely 15 नहीं ले रहा हूँ guys, let's say that he has taken 13 days. Averages need not necessarily mean that it should be a simple average of the two extreme values. ठीक है? If this average is not given, then you happily write 5 plus 13 by 2. But otherwise, you will not assume better that it is 5 plus 13 by 2. In certain cases, average lead time will not be given. If it is not given, you will have to assume that it is minimum lead time plus maximum lead time by 2. Not always better, it will be a simple average of the extreme values. Question में दिया हुआ है, please pick up that value. You will not pick up any other value. Are we clear about this? Likewise, the raw material that we are talking about, you are going to consume that on a daily basis in the manufacturing of the product. Yes or no? There will always be certain amount of normal consumption guys. There will be minimum consumption and maximum consumption. When I say normal consumption, I am talking about on an average how many units are you consuming daily. Let's say in our example beta the consumption is 1000 units per day. On an average we will be consuming 1000 units. There are times as such beta, let's say when the consumption is as low as 700 units also, and there are days as such guys on which the consumption has been 1500 units also. So on an average as such guys, let's say that we need a liter of milk every day in the house, but then there are days when their relatives turn up without informing us and the consumption is more than a liter also, and there are days when no one bothers to have milk and the consumption is less than a liter also. There will always be average consumption and then there will be minimum consumption and maximum consumption. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? The first quantitative limit that we set is called as reorder level. Reorder level is the quantity of material at which an order is placed by the organization. There will be some quantity as such beta at which you are placing a fresh order. You know for a fact that the minute you place an order, you are not going to receive the material. There is going to be some lead time. Yes or no? And then you receive those fresh quantities of material, whatever quantity that you have ordered. So there will be a level fixed by the organization at which automatically a fresh order should be placed. If you do not place an order at this reorder level, there are chances that you may not have sufficient materials. Let's say beta the supplier takes 10 days to deliver the material. In our example, on an average we are consuming how many units per day? 1000 units. We forgot to place an order. We realized that the inventory level in the organization is 2000 units only. Right now we have a stock of only 2000 units. Now we call the supplier and tell him to deliver the material. The supplier says, okay, I will take 10 days to deliver the material. But what is the quantity of inventory that we have with us? If you continue the normal consumption as such beta, those 2000 units will be sufficient for how many days? 2 days. What will happen after that? Go on a vacation for 8 days. Yes or no? There's no materials as such beta available for the next 8 days. You will have to stop the production for the next 8 days. This is why it is important that orders are placed beta on a timely basis. We're not talking about the groceries as such guys. घर में अगर कुछ नहीं है beta, you can immediately buy it and come. Even if you forget to place the order as beta for that at the beginning of the month, it is not that they're not available, it will take time for them to process it. Are you getting the point better here? So इसीलिए guys, reorder level has to be fixed, ensuring that this reorder level will be sufficient to provide for lead time consumption. My reorder level as beta should be sufficient to ensure that there is sufficient quantities available, guys, for lead time consumption. Are we clear about this? So what according to you should be your reorder level based on the details given here? Someone starting with 10,000. So he says we should be placing an order when the inventory level in the organization is 10,000. If the inventory level is 10,000 units and you place an order, the supplier, let us assume, takes 10 days and you continue to consume 1,000 units per day. So by the time the supplier is going to deliver the material, you will end up consuming this 10,000 units, but just in time you will have those the new order beta that is being received, and you will use that to continue to manufacture, correct? So Vikas says 10,000 units. Let's say supplier takes 11 days. Possible. If the supplier takes 11 days is such better to deliver the material, and everyone understood how we got 10,000 first. He says we will be consuming 1,000 units per day and there are 10 days that are taken by the supplier. So therefore, my reorder level should be 10,000 units. When the inventory level in the organization is 10,000, I will be placing a new order so that we receive the inventory as and when we end up consuming these 10,000 units. There's a possibility that the supplier may deliver the material in 5 days also. Are we clear about this, guys? So, in case the supplier takes 11 days to deliver the material, we will not have stocks for. So, what do you think should be reorder level? 19,000. To provide for the worst contingency, reorder level should be 19,500. Let the supplier, I'll come to that point, but a second. Let the supplier take 13 days also to deliver the material. Let us consume 1,500 units also. Even then, we will have sufficient inventories available better till the materials are delivered by the supplier again. There's a possibility better that this time only supplier is taking more than 13 days. See, this 13 days minimum maximum is all based on past data. Hi Anna, what if only this time better supplier takes more than 13 days? We cannot run businesses like that. As I keep saying, but if that happens, it's like this. कुछ भी हो सकता है, ambulance लेके घूमेंगे साथ में. We should be prepared. So whenever you're going out of the house, there should be an ambulance with us. We cannot run businesses like that, Asad. Are we understanding this? So by default, reorder level is maximum lead time into maximum consumption. What is reorder level? The point at which you will be placing an order. Are we clear? The intent behind reorder level is to ensure that there are sufficient inventories available to provide for consumption during the lead time with or without yawning. That's the intent, guys, of having reorder level. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है, guys? Fourth day बेटा याद रखना आज. When I'm explaining, if you're looking here and there, साथ बेटा, pretending that you're not interested, I will ensure that you're not interested. Are we all clear about this, guys? Back to this. इतना serious मत हो guys. अभी मारना थोड़ी शुरू करा. And सबके सामने थोड़ी मारता हूँ यार. देखो याद है ना, वहाँ अंदर लेके जाके पीटा था. सबके सामने थोड़ी पीटा मैं. So guys, reorder level beta would be maximum lead time into maximum consumption. But the problem with computing reorder level beta based on maximum lead time and maximum consumption is that you're unnecessarily blocking investment. There's a higher amount of, because reorder level ज़्यादा है, that means you're storing higher inventory levels. If you're storing higher inventory levels, there is higher amount of capital blocked. You will need higher finance cost, you will need higher storage cost. Are we clear about this? So you need to maintain an appropriate amount of inventory. Instead, why not have reliable suppliers? See guys, you should also work. This is what companies do, guys. The other day I was telling you how Tata Motors as such better reduced the number of suppliers. They divided their suppliers as such better into different categories of suppliers that meet the requirements, who are good on quality standards, the suppliers on whom we can work on, the suppliers whom they think there's nothing that can be done with. वो C category suppliers सबको eliminate कर दिए. B category suppliers पे बेटा they started working on them. See if they can be converted into A category or should they be eliminated. Are we clear? So यहाँ पे बेटा, if you do not want your inventory cost to increase, then reorder level will be based on normal lead times and normal consumption. However, we may maintain a safety stock, a buffer stock. Okay, it's like this, guys. You know that you will be spending about 100 rupees as such, guys, daily. In spite of that, you carry 600 rupees with you. That 500 rupees as such beta is for emergency purposes, just in case needed. आजकल कोई कैरी नहीं करता है because you all have these UPI apps as such, guys. But पहले people always used to carry that extra cash 500,000 rupees. They said just in case emergency बोल के. Let's say you're going out as such better to buy a packet of bread. You know that the cost of that bread packet, guys, will be 70 rupees. You have to blink it. कुछ भी काम नहीं कर रहा है. So let's assume, okay, so that you actually with your feet as such, guys, you're going downstairs and you're going to a store as such better to buy. If the cost of the bread packet is 70, there are rare chances that we exactly take 70 rupees and go out and come back as such better. Yes or no? You would prefer taking a little higher amount of cash. That is safety stock. That is buffer stock. Organizations, guys, can also compute their reorder level like that. In fact, in reality, no one does it on the basis of maximum lead time and maximum consumption. Everyone does it on the basis of normal lead time and normal consumption, plus maintain a certain amount of buffer stock. So your reorder level will be equal to average lead time or normal lead time into normal consumption. To this normal lead time into normal consumption, guys, what are we going to add? Buffer stock or safety stock. Sir, what if safety stock is not given in the question? You do not consider. You cannot assume things, guys. If the question says only normal lead time, normal consumption, you do not have an option. You will write reorder level as normal lead time into normal consumption. Only if the question talks about safety stock, you're supposed to include it. If the question doesn't talk about safety stock, guys, you're not going to include it. Are we clear about this? Yes or no, guys? Or the other formula for reorder level ROL is maximum lead time into maximum consumption. Just because this is not appropriate, that does not mean you do not use it. In fact, in a majority of the questions, we will be using maximum lead time into maximum consumption only. There's no information of safety stock as such, guys, but they've given us maximum lead time and maximum consumption. That will be your priority. There is information about safety stock. Then you write average lead time into average consumption plus safety stock. Are we all clear about the meaning of the word reorder level? Is everyone clear about reorder level, guys? How is safety stock computed? Discussion for another class. We will see better how safety stock will get impacted by stock out cost and carrying cost. We will try to strike a balance between stock out cost. We will see what will happen if you maintain higher safety stock. To what extent is your inventory storage cost increasing, but your stock out cost will reduce. But if you maintain a lesser safety stock, your stock out cost will start increasing, but your inventory storage cost will reduce. So we'll have to strike a balance between these two. We will learn how to compute that also in another class. Abhi ke liye, let's just assume that there is some buffer stock, there is some safety stock. We know what is that safety stock. Using that, we are arriving at the amount of reorder level. Are we all clear about this? Any doubt in the meaning of the word reorder level? Next, after reorder level, under quantitative levels, we have something called as maximum level of inventory and minimum level of inventory. I repeat, this is not maximum consumption, minimum consumption. This is level of inventory. When do you think an organization will have the highest level of inventory? Peak season. Whatever अरे scale दो यार मेरे को, steel scale. तीन थे यहाँ पे, कोई गायब कर दिया पूरे. एक सेकेंड, तू डांस करना बंद कर बेटा. Yes, beta. First important thing, I did not talk about it, is that all of these questions are based on the assumption that your product will have a uniform demand throughout the year. The demand is not going to vary. If you have one day demand of 10,000 units, next day demand of 1,000 units, again demand of 1 lakh units, all of these calculations will go for a toss better. Because if you have one consumption per day, assume kare that it is going to be uniform. That would be relevant only if the demand is also uniform. Are we clear? समझ में आ रहा है सर? व्हाट विल हैपन इफ द डिमांड इज नॉट यूनिफॉर्म एज सच बेटा? दिस इज वेयर यू हैव डेडिकेटेड टीम्स हु विल वर्क आउट द रिक्वायरमेंट. You estimate the demand and accordingly you decide. So you will not have one reorder level for the entire year. You will have separate reorder levels as such guys for each period. You will know how much is the amount of inventory that you will be needing over the next 1 month. When will you be needing those inventories? And accordingly you will decide when should you be placing orders. That is if the demand is not constant. Let us now assume that the demand is constant. हाँ बेटा, जब इन्वेंट्री अपने पास आती है. Your vehicle will have maximum level of fuel immediately after you fill it. Yes or no guys? Your vehicle will have the least amount of fuel just before you fill it. So maximum level of inventory arises immediately after you receive inventory. Minimum level of inventory arises guys just before you receive that inventory. This inventory that you are receiving is called as reorder quantity. नहीं मालूम तो बीच में रनिंग कमेंट्री नहीं बेटा. ROQ is reorder quantity. Reorder quantity, reorder level, two different things. Let's say beta that your household mein there's a policy that whenever the sugar quantity in the house comes down to 1 kg, we will place an order for 20 kgs. 1 kg is reorder level, 20 kgs is, or you've decided that whenever the petrol in the vehicle beta comes down to 1 liter as such guys, or whatever is the bar indicated, exact quantity अगर कोई बोला ना नहीं मालूम रहता खींच के लगाऊंगा, then you will fill petrol again as such beta. कैसे करोगे? full tank कर रहे हो. Let's just assume as such beta you are not spending the money that your parents are giving you. कट नहीं कर रहे हो वहाँ पे भी. They give you 1000 rupees for petrol, 500 रुपए का पेट्रोल डाल रहे हो. फिर घर में रोज एक स्टोरी क्रिएट करते क्या हुआ आजकल गाड़ी माइलेज ही नहीं दे रही बोल के. Are you getting it guys? क्या शिवेन? So guys, reorder quantity is the quantity of material that you are ordering. How to compute this reorder quantity? I'll talk about that also. Let's just assume that you know what is reorder quantity. That I will not talk in the next class. I'll talk in today's class only. Reorder quantity आज ही आएगा बेटा. So reorder quantity is the quantity that you are ordering every time an order is placed. So maximum level is the level of inventory that you will have after you receive an order. Minimum level is the level of inventory that you have. So कहानी शुरू होती है reorder level से. There is reorder level beta at which you have placed an order. Then you wait for the supplier to deliver the material. During this waiting period beta there will be some consumption. Obviously इस waiting period को lead time बोलते हैं. There will be some lead time कहते हैं. Then beta there will be minimum level, and immediately after you receive a such beta you will have maximum level. The question is, how do we compute this minimum level? How do we compute this maximum level? Veer, how do we compute maximum level? The stock which we had before, ROL, ROQ, we had what we had both of them. Acha, we are still talking about it. This bol beta, the stock that we had before is reorder level. The new stock that we have purchased is called as reorder quantity. We add both of them. Maximum level. बीच में डांडिया के लिए 9 दिन छुट्टी लिया था. Very good. Maximum level is equal to reorder level minus lead time consumption plus reorder quantity. You don't need to mug up the formulas guys. If you just understand what's the intent, meaning kya hai. We are starting with reorder level. We waited for some time. During this some time there was some consumption as such beta, which is called as lead time consumption. To that you will add what is reorder quantity? The quantity that you are receiving guys every time an order is placed. Yes or no? But to get the maximum possible answer, this lead time consumption is taken on a minimum basis, not on an average basis. Maximum possible answer कब आएगा? When there is the least amount of consumption during lead time, and the least amount of consumption will be given by minimum lead time into minimum. Let's assume that the supplier is delivering in 5 days only. Let's assume that during those 5 days also we were consuming only 700 units. The intent is to get the maximum possible answer. Normally, this is not the maximum level. Normally, maximum level would be reorder level minus average lead time into average consumption plus the amount of reorder quantity. Yes or no, guys? That's under a normal business scenario. But to get the maximum possible answer, the formula that you're supposed to remember, beta, is reorder level minus minimum lead time into minimum consumption plus the amount of reorder quantity. समझ में आ रहा है? Why am I taking consumption on a minimum basis? Yes or no, guys? The intent is to get maximum quantity. But in reality, organizations, when they compute maximum level, guys, they will be doing it on the basis of, that is as good as safety stock plus ROQ. Please understand, guys, that if everything works on the basis of normal consumptions, minimum level will be equal to safety stock. How do you compute reorder level? Average lead time into average consumption plus safety stock. You wait for that normal lead time. Will you end up consuming this? What will be left with you? Minimum level. To that, what will you add? Maximum level. If every organization works on the normal scenarios as such, guys, your minimum level is going to be reorder minimum level beta will be safety stock, maximum level beta will be safety stock plus ROQ. But apne liye beta nahi, you will have to remember these formulas. Maximum level will be ROL minus minimum lead time into minimum consumption plus the amount of reorder quantity. Any doubt in this, guys? Yes or no, beta? Now, how do I compute minimum level? शुरू हो जा बेटा वीर वापस. What you had before? अरे हाँ, अभी मैक्सिमम से शुरू मत कर बेटा. मैक्सिमम मतलब तू ऑलरेडी जिंदगी में आगे जा चुका है. Very good. To compute minimum level, all you have to do, beta, is take reorder level minus lead time consumption. Yes or no, guys? But again, the question is lead time consumption on what basis? Then the answer is 0. Compute करने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है बेटा. So guys, to get the least possible answer, whatever you said is perfectly correct. If you take consumption, guys, on a maximum basis, that is maximum lead time into maximum consumption, we will get the least possible quantity before you receive an order. But if you also take consumption on a maximum basis, that least possible inventory level will be 0 always. Because your reorder level is maximum lead time into maximum consumption. From that, if you deduct maximum lead time into maximum consumption, the difference will be 0. This is why for minimum level beta we take average lead time into average consumption. ये क्या तमाशा है सर? एक के लिए एक assumption, एक के लिए एक assumption. That is why I told you beta, in reality everything is on the basis of averages. Having said that, you have to also understand all of this. Exam में कुछ नहीं दिया, the formula for minimum level will be equal to reorder level minus average lead time into average consumption. And maximum level beta will be reorder level minus minimum lead time into minimum consumption plus the amount of ROQ. Any doubt in this? Yes or no? अभिषेक, reorder level का formula क्या है बेटा? Reorder level. अरे इప్పుడే చెప్పినాను రా, టెన్షన్ పడకు. ఉమంకి అడుగుతావా? భరత్, average lead time into average consumption plus safety stock, or the other formula beta would be maximum lead time into maximum consumption. वैसे चैप्टर जरा एमसीक्यू के लिए भी इम्पोर्टेंट है. मतलब they normally convert a question of materials. In the last 4 attempts के साथ बेटा they've given it twice. एक बार 10 मार्क के लिए, एक बार 12 मार्क के लिए MCQs from this chapter. ज़्यादा नहीं. See, any chapter which can be broken down as such beta into multiple bits, they can ask that in the examination as an MCQ question. If they cannot break it down into multiple bits, they will not ask it as an MCQ question. ये chapter में बेटा every requirement is a separate bit. मतलब नॉर्मल क्वेश्चंस में अपन देखेंगे दे विल गिव यू 6-7 रिक्वायरमेंट्स, कंप्यूट रीऑर्डर लेवल, मिनिमम लेवल, मैक्सिमम लेवल एंड एवरीथिंग. So it's very easy for them to convert a question of materials chapter into an MCQ question. Alright, but anyways, are we all clear about reorder level, maximum level, minimum level guys? अब आता है reorder quantity. How do we decide what is the quantity that needs to be ordered? There are 3 factors that affect the decision regarding the quantity that needs to be ordered. Alright guys, let's say beta you're placing an order on Blinkit. You add one quantity as such beta, it says the price is 70 rupees. नीचे एक option आता into 3 minus 3% into 5 minus 5%. You place an order for 5 units of the same product, they're giving you a discount of 5%. You place an order for 3 units of that product, they're giving you a discount of 3%. You place an order for 1 unit, there is no discount. How do you think you will take a call when you're ordering this? पहले तो what are we ordering? Is it junk or is it really required? Yes or no guys? If you are ordering junk as such better, even if he's just giving us a discount of 5% as such, you should not be like 5% save हो रहा है, let's order 5 units बोल के. That is not how we take decisions. But if it is something that you know you will be needing over the next couple of days, you will obviously be inclined towards ordering more units so that you can avail that discount rather than availing or ordering only 1 unit. Common sense, yes or no? This is the first factor that affects the decision. What is the purchase price applicable? Will we be getting any discounts if we increase the quantity? Or are there no discounts irrespective of the quantity? Now, second, whenever we place an order, there is some platform fee guys or some delivery fee. Whether you order 1 unit, whether you order 5 units, whether you order 100 units, will they charge you certain amounts? All of us use those apps, right guys? 12 रुपए, Flipkart पे 12 रुपए. जितना पूछा ना बेटा उतना ही बोलो. This is called as ordering cost. Ordering cost is the cost that you incur every time an order is placed. Even organizations incur ordering cost. सर उनको क्या प्लेटफॉर्म फी लगता क्या बोल के? उनको प्लेटफॉर्म फी नहीं लगता बेटा, बट देन यू हैव अ सेपरेट प्रोक्योरमेंट डिपार्टमेंट हु हैज टू प्रोसेस द ऑर्डर. They will compute how much is the time that they are spending as such guys in preparing that purchase order and forwarding it to the supplier. How do you place an order as such beta? तुम सोचे order चले गया. Does it work like that? Correct बेटा मनन? क्या नहीं? बेटा तू आज बहुत सुन रहा है, क्या बात है? क्या सब ठीक है? Yes guys. So नहीं guys, कुछ याद आ गया वो कल क्या बोला था? चेंज करके बोलूं स्टोरी. Someone asked him, it's too embarrassing. I laughed out so loud. So he said, no, it was not embarrassing. It was so cute. All right, guys. Anyways, guys, क्या बोले समझ में नहीं आया. तेरे को उसमें ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट है बेवकूफ. एक सेकेंड. ऑर्डरिंग कॉस्ट समझ में आया? क्या है ऑर्डरिंग कॉस्ट? Very good. Every time you place an order, a fixed cost that you incur, guys, is called as ordering cost. Any doubt in this, guys? Any doubt in purchase price? The last one beta is called as carrying cost. ये सब examples इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ ताकि please relate to it, guys. You will not be able to relate to carrying cost because we do not bloody take a decision on the basis of storage cost and finance cost because the quantity of materials that we order, guys, is negligible. We are not talking about large organizations who are placing order beta for 1 lakh units of raw material, for 10 lakh units of raw material, where the amount of investment blocked will run into crores of rupees. When you talk about ordering 1 book or 5 books as such, guys, the amount of money that would be needing is 60 rupees or 300 rupees. Yes or no? Your alternative cost, even if that amount is lying in your bank account beta, you might not be generating a return of more than 3% per annum. Not 3% per month. 3% per. That is the amount of interest that you will get on your savings account balances. Are we understanding this, guys? So, but for organizations, in case they buy a higher quantity of material as such, guys, there will be a higher amount of investment that is blocked. If there is a higher amount of investment that is blocked as such, beta, there is a higher amount of carrying cost. Carrying cost का literal definition is how much are you incurring to carry 1 unit of inventory in your organization. I will be needing space to store that material. I will also be needing capital as such, guys, to buy that material. If I buy 10,000 units, my investment will be based on 10,000 units. If I buy 1 lakh units, my investment will be based on 1 lakh units. If someone is giving, let's say, beta, your organization needs a material, 1,20,000 kgs of that raw material in a year. Someone tells that I will give a discount of 5% if you buy the entire 1,20,000 kgs at once. You did not think twice. You bought it because someone is giving you a discount of. Now all the lorries arrive at the factory. Now you're thinking about the second problem. Where do we store it? All this while you were used to buying 1,000 kgs of raw material, buy, use it as such, guys. Now all of a sudden you purchased 1,20,000 kgs of raw material. Will you also be needing storage space? Yes or no, guys? Traditional households as such, guys, even now a majority of the households as such, beta, would buy these wheat and rice requirements for the entire year at once. Yes or no? But if you're buying the entire requirement at once as such, guys, जितने पुराने चावल उतने better बोल के, मतलब ठीक है ना बेटा, अपनी अक्ल कहाँ चेंज हो रही है, उतनी है. But people pay premium as such, guys, for old rice. That is why our households believe in directly buying rice requirement for the entire year. Won't there be storage space required? Isn't there capital blocked? Yes or no? Likewise, organizations also will have those storage cost and capital. These three factors collectively will determine what should be the quantity that you need to order. Decisions are always on financial grounds. Sometimes you might place a higher order even if it is not financially viable if you think the material will not be available on a later date. Just say dairy businesses better buy something called as skimmed milk powder during off season. They say it doesn't matter whether we are buying it in advance. They say we need to buy it because it will not be available on a later date. Toyota as such, guys, I was telling you, buys raw material under JIT system. When it comes to semiconductor chips as such, better now they might have resorted back to normal policy. Last 3 years, they're like, bhaad mein gaya. Whatever is available in the market, buy. Because the materials are not available. Even if you're paying a higher price, just buy. You will not go by these financial considerations, whether it is beneficial or not. But normally, these three factors will affect the quantity that needs to be purchased. Are you all understanding this? There is purchase price, there is ordering cost, and then there is carrying cost. Any doubt about this? Yes or no, guys? Now, ordering cost is any cost that remains fixed irrespective of the quantity that you order. If the amount is changing depending on the quantity that you order, it is no longer ordering cost. जैसे अगर तुम्हारे को Zomato बोलता है बेटा that he will be placing or levying a delivery fee of 2 rupees per unit of product that you order, it is no longer ordering cost. Include that in purchase price. Because if you order 10 units, you will incur 10 units into 2 rupees. If you order 100 units, you will incur 100 units into 2 rupees. If you order 1000 units, you will incur 1000 units into 2 rupees. Why include that as ordering cost? Directly include it in. If your supplier tells you that he will levy a transportation cost of 5 rupees per unit, purchase price. But if your supplier tells you that he will levy a transportation cost of 5,000 rupees, ordering cost. Doesn't matter how many units are you ordering as such, beta, they will levy a cost of 5,000 rupees. Are you all understanding this, guys? समझ में आ रहा है क्या बोल रहा हूँ? So ordering cost is any amount of fixed cost that you incur on a per order basis. You should be incurring this cost every time you place an order. Carrying cost is incurred. ये समझ में आया सबको? Carrying cost beta is incurred on average inventory that we hold. What you store is only the amount of average inventory. Your capital is blocked on average inventory. Let's say, guys, that I buy 1000 units of raw material on 1st of Jan. And I start consuming 50 units out of it on a daily basis. Next day, my inventory will come down to, next day it will come down to 850. Slowly that will reduce to, again I receive 1000 units. I start consuming 50. Let's say I do this process beta some 18 times in a year as such beta. Every 20 days kar raha hu bolke I took 18 times. So 18 times in a year I am buying 18,000 units. I buy how many units in a year? I will not incur carrying cost on 18,000 units. Carrying cost is storage cost. Boss, you incur storage cost on the amount of material that you store. Let's say beta that there are two friends running businesses. ठीक है, दोनों गोल्ड कॉइन का बिजनेस कर रहे हैं. एक जना 1 किलो का इन्वेंट्री खरीद के रखता है, दूसरा वाला क्लियर है, कस्टमर जब ऑर्डर देगा बाजू से जाके लेके आके इसको दे देगा. Who's incurring storage cost here? The first person. The second person will not incur any storage cost, will not incur any carrying cost because there's zero investment blocked. Are you getting the point here? So it is not about the quantity that you buy in a year. It is about the quantity that you store in a year. And that quantity that you store also, guys, will not be simply equal to the quantity that you buy every time you place an order. It is average. On one day it is 1000, next day it is 950, next day it is 900, next day it is 850. Can I say on an average it is 500 units? 1000 for one day, 950 for one day, 900 for one day, 850 for one day. Gradually that is reducing to. So my average inventory that I will be holding beta will be half of that 1000, which will be equal to 500 units. Are you following this? Yes or no, guys? You incur carrying cost on average inventory. As of now, average inventory is half of the quantity that you order. As of now, I order 1000 units. The average inventory that I'll be holding as such beta would be half of 1000. If I order 10,000 units at once, 10,000 में से I'll consume 550 units, it will become 9,950. I'll consume 50 more units, it will become 9,900. वो 100 units बनने के लिए बेटा zero पे आने के लिए it will take a lot of time. On an average, I will be holding how many units now? 5,000 units. The average inventory will no longer be 500 units. What if you place an order for 1 lakh units at once? 50,000 units. Assuming the consumption is on a uniform basis. This assumption beta should not be questioned in any question. अब अगर आगे कोई बोला कि sir you are buying 10,000 units but all of those 10,000 units are being used at once at the end of the month, then my average inventory is 10,000. Because for the entire month I was holding, those cases will not arise. Whatever question that we do, production is uniform. You consume it on a uniform basis. Are we understanding this? Yes or no, guys? पहले समझ में आ गया? Do you incur carrying cost on quantity that you purchase or quantity that you hold? Always remember this. Most of the students go wrong here only. They will write carrying cost on annual purchases. You are not incurring carrying cost on annual purchases. You are incurring carrying cost only on the quantity that you hold. In a year, let us say beta that we buy 365 liters of milk from the dairy guy. That does not mean we incur carrying cost on 365 liters. Are we holding that 365 liters throughout the year? For there beta, वहाँ पे तो holding cost zero है. It's a perishable product. You only buy to the extent that it is required on a daily basis. Our holding cost should literally be zero. Whatever we are buying is for immediate consumption. हाँ या ना? What if I buy 100 liters of milk at once beta? Let's say you're living in the States as such, guys. We are not used to fresh dairy as such beta. We buy dairy also in those cartons. क्या beta? हाँ, gallons में आते directly. You are buying 100 liters at once. Will you be incurring storage costs? Yes. Are we all clear about this, guys? Now, the relation is inverse when it comes to the quantity that we order. Let's say in a year beta, coming back to the same example, I have 1,20,000 kgs of materials to be purchased. I know that annual requirement is not changing. What will change is the quantity that I order every time I place an order. No tare zami pe in class beta. If I place an order for 1,000 kgs, every time I place an order, I will be placing 120 orders in a year. I buy 1,000 kgs, I use 1,000, again I will buy 1,000. साल में कितने खरीदना है मेरे को? 1,20,000 kgs. How many orders will I be placing in a year? But what is the average inventory that I'll be holding? 500 kgs. I buy 1,000, I slowly consume out of that 1,000. On an average, I'll be holding 500 kgs. What if you place an order for 2,000 kgs? How many orders will you be placing? 60 orders in a year. On an average, how many inventory? What if you place an order for 10,000 kgs? You'll be placing 12 orders. How much is the quantity that you'll be holding? 5,000 kgs. Yes or no, guys? What if you place an order beta for 60,000 kgs? 2 orders, and on an average you'll be holding. These costs have an inverse relation. You try to reduce your ordering cost, you will end up increasing your carrying cost. You try to reduce your carrying cost, you will end up increasing your ordering cost. If I place 1000 kgs, I will have to incur ordering cost for how many orders in a year? 120. But I will incur carrying cost only on. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? If I place 2 orders in a year, I will reduce my ordering cost drastically, but my carrying cost will be on 30,000 kgs. Just because he's levying a platform fee as such beta of 10 rupees, that does not mean beta you order the requirement for the entire year as such beta at once and put it in the house. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? वो 10 रुपए बचाने के लिए बेटा, let's say that you blocked an investment of 1 lakh rupees for the entire year. Are you not losing out heavily on carrying cost also? That money could have been put to good use as such beta elsewhere. This is what we learn under application of funds also under financial management. Financial management में बेटा कल बोल रहा था, it is not just about procuring funds, it is also about putting those funds to good use. One of the elements there beta will be working capital. Working capital में material. Material में it says do not unnecessarily buy excess stocks of material and block your investment. Are we all clear about this? These two aspects के अलावा there is a third aspect that affects your decision. What is that? Purchase price. I might not hesitate to place an order for 1,20,000 kgs at once if they are giving me a higher amount of discount. I'll be like, store kar lenge, we will incur those carrying costs and everything if there is a heavy discount. So when you have to take a decision, you will have to take a decision on the basis of summation of all the 3 factors. How much is your annual purchases? How much is the amount of annual ordering cost? How much is the amount of annual carrying cost? You add all the 3 as such. You're not feeling well, Raghav? You want to go outside? See guys, I do not have to keep repeating this again and again because it gets very irritating in the middle of the explanation. If you put your head down on the bench, I will assume that you're not well and I will ask you to leave the class. Are we clear about this? Doesn't matter better what was the atmosphere in the school as such guys. Here in the class, we are all coming here to ensure that we study over the next 6 months and again study at home for another 2-3 months and then write the examination. ठीक है, वापस बोल रहा हूँ, CA Inter is vast. There will be a lot of small concepts. The syllabus is not difficult. Easier to clear if you can concentrate. But if you already have that confidence कि ये सब चिल्लर है, अपन अलग level वाले हैं, वो अलग level कहीं और बताओ, यहाँ पे नहीं. ठीक है? Are you all clear about this, Shivan? So there are 3 elements guys here: purchase price, ordering cost, carrying. You add all the 3 elements guys, wherever the total cost is the least, that is the volume that needs to be ordered. इसका एक variant है guys called as economic ordering quantity. EOQ. EOQ policy states, let's assume there is no discount. We are removing the first aspect, which is we will now take a decision guys only on the basis of 2 elements of cost. One is ordering cost, the other one is, we already established a relation as such guys that as you keep increasing the quantity per order, your ordering cost will reduce. It's going to come down if you keep increasing the quantity per order. ये क्या है बेटा अपना? If you keep increasing the quantity per order, your carrying cost will shoot up. The sum total of ordering cost and carrying cost will be the least at the point where ordering cost is equal to carrying cost. The sum total of this is ordering plus carrying cost. Purchase ले ही नहीं रहा हूं मैं. Why am I not taking purchase? I'm assuming that it will remain. If it is constant, it is not going to affect your decision. Any cash flow that remains constant under different alternatives is irrelevant for decision making. So you incur the least amount of cost at the point where your total ordering cost is equal to your total carrying cost, and that will become the point of EOQ. You need to order this quantity. The person who derived the formula as William J. Baumel. You do not have to remember his name. We'll be learning his name in FM, वहाँ पे भी आएगा सेम बाउमल्स मॉडल बोल के. This model is used for multiple places. EOQ का concept, he has derived it. He says that no matter what happens, this is the point where the sum total of carrying cost and ordering cost will be the least. Now in our example guys, what was the annual quantity? 1,20,000 kgs. Let's say beta the cost per order that we are going to incur is 1,000 rupees. Every time we place an order, as साथ बेटा calculator दे मेरे को. Every time we place an order guys, we are going to incur an amount of 1,000 rupees. Let's say that the carrying cost per unit per annum guys, एक सेकंड चेक कर रहा हूँ किससे आंसर अच्छा था. रिवर्स कैलकुलेट करेंगे. Carrying cost is 15 rupees guys per annum. Every unit that you store in the organization guys, for a year you're going to incur an amount of 15 rupees. Are we all understanding this? Yes or no guys? Let's say that your company follows a policy of ordering 500 kgs at once. How many orders will they be placing in a year? Everyone should participate guys. 240 orders in a year. For each order, what is the cost that we are incurring? Number of orders guys are 240. What is the average inventory that we will be holding? 250 kgs. Yes or no? What will be my total ordering cost in a year? Every order के लिए 1,000 rupees. For 240 orders, how much will I incur in a year? 2,40,000. What will be the carrying cost that I'm going to incur in a year? For every unit, I'm going to incur 15 rupees. For 250 units, what will be the carrying cost? Beta 250 multiplied by 15. How much is that? 3,000. The sum total of, I'm ignoring purchase price because irrespective of the quantity that I'm ordering, but I'm assuming that the purchase price is going to remain constant. So whether you order 500 kgs or 1000 kgs, I'm still going to buy the product at the same price per kg. And in a year, how many kgs will I be buying? 1,20,000 kgs. ठीक है बेटा शशांक. Next बेटा शशांक, let's say that the quantity per order is 1000 kgs. बोल बेटा, how many orders will you be placing in a year? 120. What will be the average inventory that you will be holding? 500 kgs. What will be the ordering cost that you will incur? 1,000 rupees into 120 beta 1,20,000. Carrying cost will be 500 multiplied by 15. 7,000. Your ordering cost has reduced from 2,40,000 to 1,20,000 guys, but your carrying cost has increased marginally from 3,750 to 7,000. Shashank, 2,000 kgs. How many orders? 60 orders. Average inventory beta would be 1,000 kgs. 60 orders multiplied by 1,000 rupees. My ordering cost will be 60,000. What will be my carrying cost? 1,000 kgs multiplied by 15 rupees. It will be, are we clear guys? Next, 4,000 kgs. What will be the number of orders? 30 orders. Average inventory 2,000. 30 orders into 1,000 rupees. How much will that be? 30,000. Are you all following guys? 2,000 kgs into 15 rupees. Are they both equal? अभी थोड़ी देर में बताऊंगा that this will be EOQ. This is the point at which we are incurring the least amount of cost. The sum total of ordering cost and carrying cost is how much? This is 75,000. This is 1,27,500. 2 lakh. Let's say guys that you jump to 6,000 kgs. What will be the number of orders? 20 orders. Average inventory 3,000 kgs. What will be your ordering cost? 20,000. What will be your carrying cost? 40. Sum total 65. Ordering cost plus this. It just cost started increasing again. At 4,000 kgs, your total cost was how? See, your objective is not to minimize only ordering cost or only carrying cost. Your objective is to minimize total cost. सिर्फ ordering cost बचा के क्या करोगे यार? समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? What if you order 10,000 kgs, beta? How many orders? Are you all following? 12 orders, beta. Average inventory would be 5,000 kgs. Ordering cost will be 12 into 1,000. That will be 12,000. Carrying cost will be 5,000 into 15. 75,000. Sum total. It will keep on increasing as I keep increasing the quantity per order. I did not take purchases anywhere into consideration. Are you all following? This example is to explain you the importance of ordering cost and carrying cost. So what did we learn here? As you increase the quantity per order, your ordering cost will keep reducing, but your total carrying cost will keep. Now, I told you guys that the most economical level, that is why EOQ, economic ordering quantity. If there are no discounts, the most economical level as such, guys, is going to occur at the point where your total ordering cost is equal to total carrying cost. Total ordering cost is equal to total carrying cost. They will ask us to compute EOQ as such, guys, for 2 marks. We cannot keep doing this. Let's write at every level and keep checking कहाँ पे आ रहा है कहाँ पे आ रहा है बोल के. वो मेरे को मालूम था आंसर 4,000 है बोल के बेटा. I slowly approach 4,000. I told you, no, reverse calculate करके बोलता हूँ बोल के. So how did we compute total ordering cost? Did we not multiply number of orders into cost per order? Yes or no? How did we compute total carrying cost? Average inventory multiplied by carrying cost per unit per annum. We will be replacing this with C, this with O. Cost per order is called as O, carrying cost per unit is called as C. Number of orders beta was whatever is your annual requirement divided by the quantity that you are ordering. Yes or no? Quantity per order लिखता हूँ बेटा. अब समझ में आया? Annual requirement divided by quantity per order. Was that the number of orders? Average inventory, guys, was half of quantity ordered. Yes or no? Now the requirement is A divided by Q into O is equal to half of quantity that you have ordered into C. 2AO by C is equal to Q square. I got that 2 here, guys. It became 2AO, C नीचे आ गया, and then Q square. Q is equal to root over 2AO by C. This is the formula. In my example, annual requirement was 1,20,000. Cost per order was 1,000. Carrying cost per unit was 15 rupees. This will give us 4,000. If they ask us to compute EOQ, we are supposed to use only this formula. So, ये पूरी कहानी किस लिए थी? Just to understand why this formula. Are we understanding this? But EOQ has a drawback. It assumes that there are no, if there are discounts, I do not have any other alternative but to present a cost statement like this. I will see what is the discount, include purchases also, guys, and then determine what is the total cost at each of these levels, and then decide what is the quantity that needs to be ordered. Are we all understanding this, guys? If a company follows EOQ policy, ऊपर जो तुम लोग maximum level, minimum level, हर जगह ROQ बोल के जो पढ़ रहे हो, ROQ is nothing but EOQ. What is ROQ? The quantity that you are ordering. If a company follows EOQ policy, which quantity will they order? EOQ. That itself will become their ROQ. Are we understanding this? It all depends on the policy that is being followed. समझ में आया सबको EOQ computation? Yes or no, guys? Let's say beta that this product has a cost of 100 rupees per kg. We know EOQ is 4,000 kgs. Any doubt in this? Purchase price per kg कितना है? 100 rupees. And at that level beta we've computed that EOQ is 4,000. Let's say this person beta tells you that if you order 10,000 kgs, I will give you a discount of 2%. 1%. ज़्यादा हो गया. If you place an order for 10,000 kgs, there will be a discount of 1% given. अब ध्यान देना. I'm including discount also. We have EOQ at which I should order how many kgs? Quantity per order. But in a year, I will still be buying how many kgs? 1,20,000 kgs. Or the supplier says, sir, buy 10,000 kgs and get a discount of my purchase price per kg. Here it is 100 rupees. Here it is 99. They're giving me a discount of 1%. How do I decide which is more beneficial? Bharat, my annual purchases will be 1,20,000 kgs into 100. I do not take decision based on cost per order. I have to take a decision on the basis of annual purchases. 1,20,000 into 100 as such beta would be 120 lakhs. Yes or no? 1 crore 20 lakhs. Here it will be 1,20,000 kgs but multiplied by 99. 1,20,000 less 1 crore 18 lakhs 80,000. Alright guys. My ordering cost. If I order 4,000 kgs, I will be placing 30 orders into 1,000. 30,000. If I place an order for 10,000 kgs, how many orders in a year? 12 orders. Every time you place an order, how much will you incur? How much will be this cost? My carrying cost. Will that be on average inventory? If I order 4,000 kgs, what is the average inventory? 2,000. 2,000 kgs into 15 rupees. How much will that be? If I order 10,000 kgs, what is my average inventory? 5,000 kgs multiplied by 75,000. My total cost here, guys, is 1 crore 20 lakhs 60,000. My total cost here will be 1 crore 19 lakhs 60, 75, 55, 67,000. Which is beneficial? You should avail a discount of 1% and skip the EOQ policy. If you order 4,000 kgs, you're not getting any discount. If you order 10,000 kgs, you're getting a discount of 1%. Don't you think that is more beneficial? This will be the next set of questions, guys. Pehle few questions, they will only ask us to compute maximum level, minimum level, better reorder level, reorder quantity. Once that is done, they will move on to the next set of questions asking us to determine should we be accepting a particular discount or not, which is being offered by the supplier. You will have to present a cost statement like this and then decide. समझ में आ रहा है? Any doubt in this? Everyone understood? I'm not done with all the quantitative levels yet. I'm still left with something called as average level and danger level. You're done with reorder level, reorder quantity, maximum level and minimum level. These are the 4 things that I've already covered. Any doubt in these points? Are you all sure, guys? So guys, let's take a break. Online students, we have a break. We'll start the next subject after the break. Bye-bye. For our understanding is most appropriate, but ये exam में लिखने के लिए नहीं. Most appropriate, guys, will be to take ROL based on maximum lead time and maximum consumption or average lead time and average consumption. I said, guys, organizations would prefer taking it on average lead time and average consumption, but they will also include. Very good. What will happen if they take maximum lead time into maximum consumption? Your inventory carrying costs will increase. To avoid an increase in inventory carrying costs, they will prefer average lead time into average consumption plus the amount of safety stock. If reorder level is based on this formula, guys, then minimum level will always be equal to safety stock. Because from this, if you deduct average lead time into average consumption, guys, you will be left with safety stock. Are we clear, guys? समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? And the actual maximum level, beta, frankly speaking, should be safety stock plus the amount of ROQ. We do not use this in exam as such, but this is just for our understanding. Most appropriate minimum level is always, if everything is on a normal basis, minimum level should be equal to safety stock. Maximum level beta will be वो safety stock को क्या ऐड करोगे? ROQ. ये exam के लिए नहीं है, ये अपने understanding के लिए. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? So using this, we are going to define something called as average inventory level. I did not explain this, guys, in the previous class. We were done only till this concept in the previous class. Average inventory level is the average amount of inventory, guys, that we hold during a period. अभी EOQ computation में सिखाया बेटा that average inventory level will be half of quantity ordered, but that is based on the assumption that there is no minimum level. That average quantity ordered, guys, is where your quantity that you're ordering is reducing to 0. You again receive a quantity, again that reduces to 0. In real life, inventories will never reduce to, you will have some amount of inventory, guys, before you receive a fresh order. Yes or no? So to compute average level of inventory, guys, अभी मैं बताया guys, most appropriate is basically there will be some amount of reorder level. Out of this you will start consuming inventory, then comes minimum level, then comes maximum level. In real life, minimum level will be equal to what? Maximum level beta will be equal to safety stock plus. यहाँ से again you start consuming, guys. At some point you will reach your ROL. Again beta you start consuming. This is where you will place an order. You start consuming. Again you will reach your minimum level. Immediately after that, as beta you're going to get your quantity, guys, and the maximum level will be safety stock plus. Let's say, guys, that your safety stock is about 5,000 units. All right. And the quantity that you order as such beta is 15,000 units. So when you receive a fresh order, the level of inventory that you have, guys, is 20,000 units. You start consuming gradually out of it. Inventory level reduces to 5,000 units. Again it increases to, again you start consuming as such beta, it will come down to 5,000. What do you think will be the average inventory level? It will be equal to 5,000 plus 15,000 divided by 2. Yes or no, guys? 5 plus 20,000 beta, sorry. 5,000 plus 20,000 divided by 2. Why 20,000, guys? 20,000 से शुरू कर रहे हो, it is gradually coming down to 5,000. Immediately again 20,000. So on an average you're holding 20,000 plus 5,000 divided by 2, which will be 12,500. Which can also be written as, I am holding those 5,000 units no matter what happens. This 15,000 is reducing to 0, again increasing to 15,000, again reducing to 0. See guys, 5,000 अपना level है, that is increasing to 20,000. So you write your average inventory level as 5,000 plus 20,000 divided by 2, which is 12,000. An alternative way of understanding that is, you are holding 5,000 no matter what happens. That 15,000 is fluctuating. That 15,000 will reduce to 0. Again, you will get 15,000. Again, that will reduce to 0. You're going to get the same answer, 12,000. So the formula that is given, guys, is safety stock, that is minimum level, plus half of ROQ. This is your average inventory level. The actual average inventory level that an organization would be holding, guys, is safety stock plus half of ROQ. Are you getting this formula, guys? Yes or no? समझ में आया नहीं आया? But guys, in computation of EOQ, जब मैं cost statement बना रहा था, I only took this because this is not going to affect the decision. It is not that we do not have safety stock. कुछ भी रहने दो safety stock. Irrespective of the quantity ordered, I will still incur carrying cost on safety stock. That should not impact my decision. What should impact my decision, guys, is only the carrying cost that I am incurring on quantity or. अभी बेटा ये फॉर्मूला में ये जो स्टेटमेंट लिखे यहाँ पे सेफ्टी स्टॉक 1000 यूनिट्स रहने दो, 2000 यूनिट्स रहने दो. If it is 1000 units, won't this become 1250? This will become 1500. This will become 3000, so on. In all the cases, I will incur additional carrying cost on those 1000 units. Why will that affect my answer? The decision is not going to change. All the final figures will increase by carrying cost on that safety stock. That is why when we take a decision, we do not consider that carrying cost on safety stock. It should not be impacting your decision at all. The actual average inventory level is not half of quantity ordered. It is safety stock plus half of quantity ordered. Are we understanding this, guys? समझ में आ रहा है क्या बोल रहा हूँ? इसीलिए ये पहले most appropriate बोल के लिखाया मैं, ताकि समझ में आए why am I giving preference to safety stock plus half of quantity ordered rather than writing something else. Now there is another formula that is given for average stock level, which is minimum level plus maximum level by 2. In the exam guys you will write both the formulas. In fact वो लोग इसको preference देते, इसको नहीं. This is in a way also correct, but this will never give us the accurate average inventory level, because minimum level and maximum level computations that we have learned are based on two different assumptions. For computation of minimum level, we have assumed that consumption during lead time will be on an average basis. For computation of maximum level, we have assumed that consumption during lead time will be on a... That is why guys, in real life, no one uses minimum plus maximum by 2. अपने एग्जाम्स के लिए बेटा फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस इज मिनिमम प्लस. वाई फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस बात कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि अगर एमसीक्यू है ना, यू कैन नॉट मार्क 2 MCQs and they've given average stock level as an MCQ also. You will go by minimum plus maximum by 2. But the actual average inventory level that an organization holds as such guys is not minimum plus maximum by 2. It is safety stock plus half of ROQ. For EOQ computation, I will not even consider safety stock. I'll only take half of, because I will incur carrying costs on safety stock irrespective of the output level. Are we clear? समझ में आ रहा है क्या बोल रहा हूँ? So average inventory level is very simple. It actually means average inventory level only. What is the amount of inventory that you're holding on an average is average inventory level. You get 1,000 rupees from your parents, you spend out of it, that reduces to 0. You get 1,000 again, you keep spending out of it, that reduces to 0. What is the average cash balance that you're holding? 500. What if you hold a minimum amount of 200 and then whenever it drops down to 200, you get another 1,000 from your parents? So it is 1,200 plus 200 divided by 2, or 200 plus half of 1,000. The 200 anyways you're going to hold throughout the year. What will reduce to 0 beta is that 1,000 rupees. So we'll write half of 1,000 plus extra 200. That will become the average inventory. Are you getting the point? देवान समझ में आया बेटा क्या बोला मैं? 200 रुपए है अपने पास minimum, and then we get how much from the parents? 1,000. Balance increases to, you slowly start spending out of it. The balance reduces to, they again give you, let's assume beta, you start spending out of it. The balance reduces to, what is the average balance that you're holding? 1,200 plus 200 divided by 2, or you write 200 plus half of that 1,000 rupees. Are we clear guys? एग्जाम के लिए guys क्या करोगे? ROL first preference, maximum lead time into maximum consumption. लिखना शुरू कर दो मेरे साथ ही. Maximum lead time into maximum consumption. Second preference beta would be the alternate formula. What is that? Average lead time into average consumption plus the amount of safety stock. Average lead time into average consumption plus the amount of safety stock. Minimum level guys, there are no two formulas, there's only one formula, and that will be reorder level minus consumption should be taken on an average basis. Average lead time into average consumption. For maximum level also guys, though consumption should have been on a normal basis, but we do not have an option, there's only one formula, and what is that? Reorder minus consumption should always be on a minimum basis. You will write minimum lead time into minimum consumption plus the amount of ROQ. Average level के लिए guys, first preference minimum plus maximum by 2. This is the first preference. If this is not available beta, then we will write minimum level plus half of ROQ. Safety stock plus half of ROQ, or minimum level plus half of ROQ. एक ही बात है बेटा, ठीक है? This is nothing but safety stock. Next guys, 6 point after some time better. Danger level guys. We've all learned about ROL guys. Danger level arises in case a company did not place an order at ROL for some reason. Maybe the supplier does not have inventories as such guys, or we miss placing an order at ROL. So for danger level, we need to have a prior agreement with supplier stating that if needed, the supplier should be willing to supply at a much shorter notice rather than supplying the material, guys, in the normal lead times. This cannot happen every time as such, beta. This should only be if needed. Okay? It's not like every time you place an order, you tell him that urgent hai, kal hi la ke de bol ke. You will not have a supplier only, beta, who will supply you material in the long run. So danger level arises in case a material is not placed at, order is not placed at ROL. You will have to place some order, guys, at least at danger level. The formula for which, guys, will be equal to average consumption into lead time for emergency purchases. जब starting में कल information लिखा रहा था बेटा, I've asked you to write lead time for emergency purchases also, and I told you that I'll be explaining this later. याद है? That lead time for emergency purchases, guys, is only for emergency purchases. So it will be 1000 units multiplied by these 3 days. You will not take maximum consumption for danger level, beta. You will take average consumption only. Are you getting the point, guys? Likho beta. Fifth one, guys. Reorder level is 1,60,000 units. EOQ is 90,000 units. Minimum level 1 lakh. Maximum level 1,90,000 units. Average lead time is 6 days. Difference between minimum and maximum lead time is 4 days. Whenever, guys, average lead time is not given, the other day I told you it can be written as minimum lead time plus maximum lead time by 2. Yes or no, guys? So you know what is average lead time, you know what is the difference between minimum and maximum lead time. First figure out how much is minimum lead time and maximum lead time. Once you get those minimum and maximum lead times as such, guys, then you can use the formulas better of क्या compute करना है, maximum consumption. कौन से formula में maximum consumption आता है? Reorder level. You will write maximum lead time into maximum consumption. Alright, guys. And then कौन से formula में minimum consumption आता है? Maximum level. You will write reorder level minus minimum lead time into minimum consumption plus the amount of ROQ. So first compute minimum lead time and maximum lead time, guys, using average lead time. आ गया देखो. ROQ मतलब regard the any such a pal raha. Guys, if a company is following EOQ policy, what will be ROQ? For every question, you do not have to confirm. If a doctor writes you prescription for 10 days, before taking every medicine, every day, you will call him, just confirming, same medicine, no, bolke? Sorry. आयुष आया मिनिमम लीड टाइम मैक्सिमम लीड टाइम कितना है? लीड टाइम पूछा था मैं, बट ठीक है वो भी करेक्ट है. हाँ ठीक है सब. सो इफ योर मिनिमम लीड टाइम इज एक्स, बेटा, व्हाट विल बी मैक्सिमम लीड टाइम? इट विल बी एक्स प्लस 4. नाउ यू नो, गाइस, एवरेज दैट इज 6 days विल बी इक्वल टू एक्स प्लस 4 by 2. You will get x is how much, beta, using this? X will be equal to 4 days. Therefore, minimum lead time, beta, will be 4 days. Maximum lead time will be 8 days. Once you get this minimum lead time and maximum lead time, guys, you can compute those values. हो गया गाइस? ये हो गया सानवी? पढ़ गया ये सारे का? FM में क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा. What's the first thing that we have to compute, beta? Maximum. So you'll write ROL is equal to maximum lead time into मैक्सिमम कंजम्पशन ROL कितना दिया हुआ है बेटा 1,60,000. Maximum lead time beta is maximum consumption is missing. How much is that? तबीयत ठीक है ना ज्यादा ही नहीं पढ़ ले रही अच्छा 20,000 units per day beta. This will be your maximum consumption. Did you all get this answer guys? Next beta दूसरा फॉर्मूला कौन सा यूज करना है maximum level. Maximum level beta would be reorder level minus minimum lead time into minimum consumption plus the amount of ROQ. Do not chase the end answer guys. Instead try concentrating on understanding the process. A lot of us only give importance to the final answer. ये क्या है बोलो सर हम आंसर ला लेते EOQ ROQ लेना ना ले लेंगे खत्म करेंगे बल्कि it's not about getting the final answer, it's about understanding the entire process guys. There's no race in the class. The one who solves first will be given CA certificate पहले बोल के. It's about who clears the examination guys. For that you have to understand the process. Maximum level कितना है बेटा 1,90,000. This is equal to reorder level is 1,60,000. Minimum lead time is 4 into minimum consumption is what we have to compute. ROQ beta is 90,000. 160 plus 90 250 minus 190 guys. You'll get 4 into minimum consumption is equal to 60,000 units. Minimum consumption beta would be 15,000 units. Using reorder level we are getting maximum consumption. Using maximum level beta we are getting minimum consumption. प्रथम हो गया तेरा ये minimum level given in the question guys cannot be correct. ये question में minimum level कितना दिया हुआ है inventory का 1 lakh. If I go by this information as such guys, I know what is reorder level. Reorder level is 1,60,000. If I take average lead time into average consumption guys, तुम्हारा minimum consumption 15,000 units आया है. Maximum consumption is how much? 20,000 units. That means average consumption should be somewhere between those two levels. Let's say 17,500. How much will be 1,60,000 minus 6 days into 17,500? 6 into 17,500 minus 1,60,000. 50. Minimum level given in the question is incorrect. It's not possible to have a minimum level, but we are anyways not using it also. It is only for your understanding. यूजुअली बेटा जब रिवर्स कैलकुलेशन करके रिक्वायरमेंट कंप्यूट करना है एक दो गलतियां हो सकती है उसमें. They just concentrate on one part, they forget what will be the impact of this on some other part. The minimum level given in the question guys does not fit in. It is incorrect, but we anyways do not need it also. Are you getting it? समझ में क्या बोल रहा हूँ? Is everyone done with this? Last bench बेटा हर्षित हो गया ये? शाम नहीं हुआ है? क्या आज नहा के आया? हाँ आज डबल नहा के आया फिर बर्थडे इसका. हाँ मालूम है इसलिए लेट आया कहते सुबह मंदिर जाके आया. क्या बोले भगवान? हाँ अभी तक नहीं आया मैसेज नहीं आया वापस. क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 बेटा श्याम विल आंसर फर्स्ट. SJ Private Limited manufactures 20,000 units of a product per month. The cost of placing an order is 1,500 rupees. Purchase price of the raw material is 100 rupees per kg. Reorder period is 5 weeks to 7 weeks. So minimum will be 5. Maximum will be, an average will be 6. 6.5 कैसे लिखते हो यार, 6 भी बोल रहे हो 0.5 भी बोल रहे हो. The consumption of raw material varies from 200 kgs to 300 kgs per week, average consumption being 250 kgs. The carrying cost of inventory is 9.75% per annum. Whenever inventory carrying cost is given in percentage, it will be as a percentage of purchase price. Because your investment blocked will depend on for how much are you purchasing the inventory for. If you buy a material for 1000 rupees, if you buy a material for 1 crore rupees, will you incur the same carrying cost? No. Obviously, the material that is worth 1 crore will involve a higher capital blocked that will need a higher amount of carrying cost. So whenever inventory carrying cost is given in percentage, it will be as a percentage of purchase. वो per unit हो जाएगा. उससे बाद में into average inventory तो करना ही है. Are you getting the point, guys? Now, Umang, what is the annual requirement of the raw material? $2,40,000. लक्ष्यता कितना आया? 2,40,000. ईशा तू बड़ा नेक्स्ट. करी नहीं एनुअल रिक्वायरमेंट. वापस पढ़ बेटा. I'll wait for a minute. दीक्षा आया देखो कितना 2,40,000 आया. शिवेन 13,000 is the right answer, guys. The company manufactures 20,000 units. 20,000 is not the requirement of raw material. It is the production of the finished product. All right, guys. You cannot use that 20,000 units per month in order to compute the annual requirement of raw material. वो क्या हो जाएगा? Annual production of finished product. नीचे क्या दिया हुआ है बेटा? Is on an average how much do we consume per week? So if annual requirement is not directly stated, compute it using normal consumption. So average consumption 250 kgs per week multiplied by 52 weeks in a year. 13,000 kgs will become the annual requirement. It is very common that they purposely start the question with demand of the finished product so that you directly pick up that demand as annual requirement. Are you all understanding this, guys? You're not supposed to pick up demand of the annual finished product. You're supposed to only arrive at annual requirement of raw material. Annual requirement equals annual requirement A equals 250 kgs per week into, smart guys, 13,000 kgs. Annual requirement A beta will be 250 kgs per week into 52 weeks. The cost per order beta is given as how much? Cost per order is given as 1,500. Carrying cost per unit per annum will be 9.75% of what? Purchase price. So when carrying cost is given in percentage, guys, be careful. If there are quantity discounts, your purchase price will change. Your carrying cost per unit also will change. If carrying cost is given in absolute terms, then carrying cost per unit will not change. But if I tell you carrying cost is 9.75%, if there is a discount given, will my purchase price change? My carrying cost per unit also should change. So here it will be 9.75% of what's the purchase price per kg? 100 rupees per kg. That will be 9.75. In the first bit, they've asked us to compute reorder quantity, guys. ROQ compute करने के लिए क्या करोगे? सोचे, how will you compute ROQ बेटा? Why? If they give me multiple purchase levels and everything, I will decide what is the most economical level. अगर कुछ नहीं दिया हुआ है बेटा, obviously a company will follow EOQ policy. So ROQ will be equal to EOQ, and that will be equal to root over 2AO by C. 2 times of 13,000 kgs multiplied by 1500 divided by 9.75. Exact. 2000 kgs. आगे के पूरे नॉर्मल है बेटा. You have to compute reorder level, maximum minimum level. Can you do it? So reorder level का formula guys would be maximum lead time into maximum consumption. Maximum lead time कितना है बेटा अपना? 7 weeks. Maximum consumption per week बेटा 300. So 7 weeks multiplied by 300 kgs per week. The answer beta would be 2100 kgs. This would be your reorder level. Maximum level कैसे compute करोगे बेटा? Reorder level minus minimum lead time into minimum consumption plus the amount of ROQ. Reorder level beta is 2100. Minimum lead time is 5 weeks. Minimum consumption is 200 kgs per week. This will be 1000 guys. Plus reorder quantity is 2000. कितना हो जाएगा बेटा maximum level? 3100 kgs. Next beta is minimum level. Minimum level के लिए you need average lead time and average consumption. Average lead time is not directly defined in the question, so you define it first. It will be 5 plus 7 by 2. That is 6 weeks. Now you can write minimum level. Minimum level beta would be equal to ROL minus average lead time into average consumption. Average lead time beta is 6 weeks. Average consumption is 250. Reorder level कितना आया था अपन को? 2000. 2100 guys. Minus average lead time is 6 into 250 kgs. That will be 600 kgs. Last bit beta क्या पूछ रहा है? First preference for average stock level. What did I tell you guys? Minimum level plus maximum level by 2. So that will be 600 guys plus 3100 by 2, 3700, 1850 kgs. Or because this is a normal subjective part, write the other answer also. This will be equal to minimum level plus half of ROQ. 600 plus half of 2000, 1600 kgs. This will be the levels better. Reorder level is 2100, maximum level is 3100, average, minimum level is 600 and average stock level beta is 1850 or 1600. Are we all clear about this? Zinc stocks and all of that. Z company supplies plastic crockery to fast food restaurants in metropolitan city. One of its products is a special bowl, disposable after initial use. What makes it special we do not know guys, but anyways, for serving soup to its customers. These bowls are sold in pack of 10 pieces at a price of 50 rupees per pack. The demand for plastic bowl has been forecasted at a fairly steady rate of 40,000 packs every year. The fact that there are 10 pieces in one pack irrelevant because price is given on a per pack basis. Demand is also given in terms of number of packs. ठीक है, वो 10 pieces per pack से कुछ लेना देना नहीं है अभी. The company purchases the bowl directly from the manufacturer at 40 rupees per pack with a 3 days lead time. So we are not manufacturing this. We are simply buying it from one place and selling it at the other place better. Our procurement cost is 40 rupees per pack. We are selling it at 50 rupees per pack. The annual requirement will be 40,000 packs. The ordering and related cost is 8 rupees per order. Storage cost is 10% per annum of average inventory investment. Storage cost is 10% per annum of average inventory investment. What do you understand by this? पूरा स्टेटमेंट जो बोलता ना सेम वॉल्यूम लेवल पे बोल, सुनाई देगा. How do you compute overall cost of inventory? तू बोलना कुछ और चाहता है, कुछ और निकल जाता है, ऐसा कुछ है क्या बोल के? नहीं ना. ये क्रिएटिविटी कहाँ से लाया बेटा तू? 10%, 90% is where, yes, I understand we did a question day before yesterday, guys, where other expenses were 2% of total material cost. That does not mean, guys, you apply that logic everywhere. Where is it given that it is 10% of total cost? How is average inventory total cost of the inventory? Rishikesh, kortan rane ko. I do not care, beta. Yes, guys. Suchir, let's not talk for a few minutes. Huh? First, we will compute average inventory, and that will be using. That will be using what? Average inventory. How will you calculate? $40,000 by 2 is average inventory. 40,000 divided by 2 is average inventory. ऐसे रहना बेटा, भाड़ में गया तू क्या पढ़ाया हमारे को नहीं मालूम है. Annual requirement is 40,000, average inventory is 20,000. How is average inventory 20? Year के beginning में we are buying annual requirement for the entire year at once. साल में एक ही बार खरीदते हैं हम लोग. दिमाग खराब नहीं करना every day order place कर करके बोल के. Will you buy, guys? पूरा पढ़ाने के बाद में बेटा we are back to the same thing. Average inventory is what? अरे उधर गाड़ द फॉर्मूला ना को. It is the level of inventory that is held in the organization. 40,000 is annual requirement. That does not mean we buy 40,000. Average inventory, guys, will be safety stock plus half of ROQ. Safety stock is going to be 0 only for computation of carrying cost. So you'll only take half of ROQ. That will be your average inventory. Correct, guys? The question is, how do I compute this carrying cost? It says 10% per annum of average inventory investment. सेफ्टी स्टॉक मेंटेन कर रहा बोला वो. नॉट नहीं कर रहा अभी. वो भाड़ में गया बेटा, जो पूछा वो आंसर बोलो ना यार तुम लोग. No, guys, it is actually does not maintain safety stock. The word not is missing because otherwise calculations will go for a toss. बच्चों, आयुष्मान बोल बेटा. ठीक है, EOQ कैसे कैलकुलेट करेंगे? रूट ओवर 2AO by C. Do you know what is A? How much? Do you know what is O? How much is that? Do you know how much is C? 10% of what? Of? अरे वापस मजाक कर रहे हो यार. एवरेज इन्वेंट्री, तब से वही तो पूछ रहा था ना. व्हाट इज 10% ऑफ एवरेज इन्वेंट्री? सो व्हाट डू आई टेक दैट? 10% ऑफ व्हाट? 10% ऑफ EOQ by 2. So EOQ is equal to root over 2AO by 10% of EOQ by 2. वाह. डॉली तू बोल बेटा. शाम. Vansh. Online students, you can also answer better. क्यों लेना 10% of 40? करेक्ट है, बट फिर वो एवरेज इन्वेंट्री इन्वेस्टमेंट क्यों दिया ऐसा? दिया होगा वो अपन को जो आता अपन करके छोड़ देना. नहीं हो गया बीकॉम दे रहे. Expert opinion. Shivan. वो 333 अभी फर्स्ट बिट में आया ही नहीं बेटा, मैं देख रहा ही नहीं उसको नीचे क्या है, इररेलेवेंट। वो जो फर्स्ट बिट का आंसर है ना, ऊपर की इंफॉर्मेशन पे बेस रहता, आगे पूरा क्वेश्चन पढ़ के होशियारी ना को। Alright guys, it is still 10% of 40 rupees. Carrying cost is always incurred on average inventory only guys. How do you compute total carrying cost in a year? Average inventory into carrying cost per unit. Isn't carrying cost incurred on average inventory investment? Why are we getting confused? 90%, 10%. Our total carrying cost in a year is average inventory into carrying cost per unit. हाँ या ना guys? Average inventory into carrying cost is 10% of purchase price. बोल रहा हूं मैं. Can I write this as 10% of A into B into C or B into A into C? Are this the same? Smart guys. क्या बात है? So average inventory in units into what? Average inventory in units into purchase price. Isn't my inventory investment? 10% of inventory investment. Beta, inventory in units into price per unit. Won't that be your investment in inventory? You bought 10 units at a price of 50 rupees. What is your investment? वाह, मैं भी तो वही बोल रहा हूँ guys. Average inventory investment. ये सब करने की जरूरत नहीं है. If they mention that carrying cost is as a percentage of average inventory, guys, you should tell them we know this. That carrying cost is always computed on average inventory only. So that 10% means it is still 10% of purchase price to be computed on what? Average inventory. So that carrying cost per unit beta will still be 10% of 40 rupees. इसलिए जब वो बोला 10% of 40, I asked him why. He says नहीं लेना है बस. करेक्ट हो गया बोल के ऐसे आर्ग्यू नहीं कर सकते वहां पे. 10% of 40 rupees beta 4 rupees per unit will be your carrying cost per unit. Are you all getting it? Yes or no? Not just this question beta, there will be a lot of other questions in which they will mention that carrying cost is as a percentage of average inventory investment. Let it be per unit, it will still be as a percentage of your purchase price. Are we clear about this? So you will take carrying cost beta as 10% of 40 rupees or 50 rupees. Why not 50? 50 is not your investment guys, 40 rupees is your investment. So it will be 10% of 40 rupees. What will be EOQ beta based on that? Root over 2 times of 40,000 packs multiplied by 8 divided by 4. 4, you will be ordering 400 units. Are we clear about this? Calculate the number of orders needed every year. How many orders will you be needing in a year? What is the total annual requirement? 40,000. Every time you place an order, you're doing it for how many units? 400 units. How many orders in a year? Proud of you guys. How will you compute total cost of ordering and storage? 100 orders in a year. एक ऑर्डर का कॉस्ट कितना है? 8 रुपीज. 100 into 8 कैलकुलेटर पे चेक करो कितना आ रहा है. वाह, तुम लोग बेशरम वो भी कैलकुलेटर पे चेक कर रहे हो एक्चुअली. 100 into 8 बोल के. Annual storage cost guys. Storage cost beta is incurred on average inventory. What is your EOQ? 400 units. Half of 400? 200 units into 4 rupees. Total storage cost will be 800. Total ordering cost also will be put together 1600. Determine when should you be placing the next order. Assuming that the company does not maintain a safety stock. Add the word not. And the present inventory level is 333 packs with a year of 360 working days. When should you place the order? Matlab, what should we compute? RO? Very good. What is the annual requirement? how many days in a year? इसके हिसाब से बेवकूफ हो, खींच के लगाऊंगा अभी. 40,000 divided by 360, guys. 111. Won't this become the consumption per day? What is your lead time given in the question? 3 days. How much is your normal lead time into normal consumption? 3 into 111. 333. Reorder level is 333. What is your present inventory level? When should you be placing the next order? Now. Immediately. If you do not place an order immediately as such, beta, you will not have inventory to be sold only. Are we clear about this? इसलिए I added the word not, because if there is safety stock, reorder level as such beta would be normal lead time into normal consumption plus the amount of safety stock. Answers will change. समझ में आया नहीं आया question? Yes or no, guys? Any doubt in this? Question number 11 and 12 are homework, guys. I'll give a note for that average inventory. कल याद दिलाना. बाकी पूरा क्वेश्चन एक्सप्लेन कर चुका होगा इस, ठीक है. 11th and 12th are homework. Online students, end of the session. You have a break. Bye bye.